Hi, podcast listeners. We are so happy to share this episode of Predicting Chaos's first D&D campaign, Reincarnation, in an audio-only format. Our cast members for this show are Tyler Lee, our Dungeon Master, Bella, aka Not Bella, playing Belle, Kate, aka Catertot, playing Leah, Sage, aka Sweet X Sage, playing Mavis, and Sebastian, aka Why Not Sebastian, playing Hex. Our recording is done by Sailor Sunday. Music is provided by Epidemic Sound and Alexander Nakarada. The show is also available on YouTube and Twitch with a video component if you're into that. And with that, we welcome you to the world of Reincarnation. Hope you enjoy.
Last time on Reincarnation, our heroes fought in the tunnels. A rival group of adventurers opened fire on the party. To make matters worse, the Church of the Living trampled onto the scene and began attacking. Very soon, our heroes found themselves surrounded by enemies. Leah slew the leader of the rival party, an orc named Brack. The party retreated after several Ankeg burst from the ground. Their retreat was cut off by a raging underground river. Celia, the flower lady, fell in and was swept up by the current. The party did not hesitate to go in after her, eventually washing up on a not-too-distant shore. Hex investigated the area while Mavis helped check a stack of books for water. Belle kept in contact with Hex via the message spell. The fighter found a nest of Ankeg and a queen covered in fungus. Aerolith informed the party that this was the ultimate goal, to kill the queen and become incredibly rich. But what awaits our heroes? How will they settle this dispute? Find out right now on Reincarnation.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Reincarnation, everybody. It's been good to have you here. It still is good to have you here. I'm Tyler. Again, I'm still Tyler. This is everybody else.
We're still the same people too. If there, it seems like there might be an air of questioning, of suspicion. I'm the same person. Also,
Yeah.
I'm a little different. I'm a little older.
That's true.
I gotta
That's
get
very
camera.
true, yeah.
A little wiser.
We have slightly older Sage and slightly higher res Kate here. Thank you for joining us.
I'm the same.
Everyone else is exactly the same, so that's great. Slightly shorter hair Sebastian here, which is great. Welcome. And Bella is precisely the same, so don't ever change. Awesome. Anyway, hi, welcome back to Reincarnation. We are going to start out the same way we always start out every single session, with fun facts about your character. This week, we're starting with Belle. Belle, do you have a fun fact about your character for us?
I do, and it's one part fun fact, one part confession. You might recall, or not, you might recall that when I told you recently about Krunlo coins, the fake currency that we used in my household when I was a youth so that I would understand economics, and I do. Well, as a child, I was very creative. I still am. And I also loved woodworking, also a thing that I mentioned before, my little whittling. And one day, young me thought it would be very fun to learn how to whittle Krunlo coins, and I did. I made counterfeit Krunlo coins with my whittling. In my defense, they were a lot prettier than the regular Krunlo coins. I added some sparkles, but that's my fun fact. It was good to get that off my chest.
That's good. Thank you, Belle. You're in the back of the queue. Leah, you are up next. Do you have a fun fact about yourself for us?
So a fun fact about Leah. Yeah. So Leah loves in her free time, like before going to bed, just like kind of help her sleep a little bit. She loves like drawing, and one of her favorite things to draw, of course, what other than plants, that's like her whole thing. So she loves drawing plants, and she like hangs them up in her wall, like around like her bedroom, and so like her like wall is like covered in like her drawings of like the various plants that they grow, and plus the ones that she's like studied as well.
I love that very much. Thank you, Leah. You will be going first next week, or
Sweet.
next session. Mavis, you are next. Do you have any fun facts about your character for us?
Yes. When I was younger, I used to get a lot of paper cuts, so I didn't really like reading too much until I got older and a little bit more careful.
I love that. That's great.
It's really cute.
Fantastic. Good. All right. Thank you, Mavis. Hex, do you have a fun fact about yourself for us?
Yes, Hex is right-handed but left-footed.
Oh,
Wow.
Whoa.
That's
you
cool.
what an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That is a fun
Interesting.
fact.
Yeah. That's,
How do you
that's
know
fun.
if you're left or right-footed?
Well, there's like certain sports that you play.
Yeah.
You know,
What
that-
sports made you discover that?
That's a great. What's the D&D version of soccer?
Football,
Is there-
I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
football.
gotta be.
Wow, football just D&D. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah, yeah.
football. So any time that Hex needs to like,
Kick?
push himself up on it. Yeah, kick or push himself up on to something with using his legs. His left foot is always left foot and leg. The left
yeah.
part of his lower extremities is much stronger.
Incredible.
Upper half
the right
right, lower half left.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yep.
Oh, I love that. That's
Very
cool.
balanced.
Yeah.
Individual.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. All right. Thank you, everybody, for those fun facts. That was awesome. We will now resume
Yeah.
our very hard talk that we had. Aerolith
Oh, yeah.
has just said, and we will make a name for ourselves that will not be forgotten. And Belle, you had messaged Hex, and you said, oh yeah, you were right.
Oh yeah.
So, Hex, I guess you have the opportunity to send a little message back, if you'd like. 25 words or less. You can also opt not to.
I'll just say stay alert.
Nice. Alright, that happens. So, the first thing that you all notice, before you say anything, is that the rest of her team is moving towards the stairway that Hex had gone up. Not all of them have moved past you yet. I'll say that the only ones that have moved past right now are Quick Pickles and Isongde. Turris, Celia, and Aerolith are still among the four of you. What would you all like to do?
I would like to say, whoa. Like, can we slow down? Can we have this conversation here? Like, let's not rush into anything. There is no rush. We need to have a conversation first.
Okay. So, I guess Aerolith, she says, I don't see what else there is to talk about. What could we have to discuss, to debate?
We haven't even had a chance to say anything. You just monologued and then started moving away from us.
She,
Wait.
Am I wrong?
Turris kind of like elbows Aerolith, and he says, he says in Draconic, she's got a point. And
Thank you,
Aerolith, she slowly, you noticed, Belle, that she was reaching for her book, and she stops. And she says, very well, state your case. What do you have to talk about here?
I would love about 20 seconds to discuss with my group, and if you all could just patiently wait and then engage in conversation with all of us all together. Please.
She lets out a big sigh, and she says, fine. You have 1 minute. 60
I appreciate
seconds.
your patience. Thank you. Okay, and then I want to say, huddle up, everyone.
Where's Bill?
Bill
He's
is
with
with you,
us.
Hex. He's just tromping on behind you.
Okay.
We had
He
the
huddles
whole
in.
thing where he unbackpacked and then stayed and then
Right.
followed
Oh, yeah.
you and then came back with you.
Right.
He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, I don't like this because I don't like how quickly they're rushing into this. I think the Ankegs are scary, but I don't feel great about like killing a queen immediately. Doesn't that seem like it could have negative repercussions? What do you all think?
I well, Leah kind of just like doesn't really know what to say. I am still very shaken up by what she said about me, about my family, about what we're doing in
That was weird.
Corpse Town. Yeah. And I don't really know what to think anymore, honestly. I don't really know what to do. I'm kind of lost, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I haven't felt like this ever. I've always been very sure of myself, and I don't know what to do.
I want to take both of my hands and go to put them on Leah's shoulders and then say, is it okay if I touch you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put both of my hands on your shoulders and then lock eyes with you and say, Leah, you are my best friend in the world. I know you better than anyone else that I know at all. You are one of the strongest, most powerful, most incredible, and also, quite frankly, most badass people that I know. There is nothing that you are not capable of doing. Do not let her shake your confidence. Are there things that we don't understand? Are there conversations to have with your parents? Sure. The world is full of mysteries, but this, your abilities, that's not a mystery, okay? You've got this, and we've got this, and I know everything's gonna be okay. Do we think we should stop trusting Aerolith?
Honestly, I don't like how gung-ho she is about all this. I'm going to be quite honest with you. It doesn't seem right to me. I don't know if we should not trust her, but I definitely don't want to do whatever she's got planned.
Okay, I want to turn to the group and say, what do you both think?
Go ahead. You can go first.
Oh,
Do you
well,
know? Yeah. Do you have thoughts?
I do. I've never been quite fond of Aerolith, and I'm generally against genocidal monologues. So there must be a way to hunt Ankeg without obliterating their entire society and way of life and all of what she was talking about. Also, there was the whole part of her talking about the Tyler. What's the lore name of it again? Sorry.
So the
when
rift.
the demons came, the rift.
The
Yeah.
rift, yeah.
Okay,
There's a lot
and that's
to
the word she
unpack.
used for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, she said that a rift opened up in the mountains.
Yeah. Also, she went into some other things that I'm not exactly sure how they relate to the Ankegs. I guess when that happened, it changed everything, and now they're forced to kind of come down here to search for food. I don't think it's a bad thing to find other sources of food, but I do think the way that they seem to want to go about it is troubling. I don't like it, but that's just me.
As they're talking about this, can I do something?
Sure.
Can I do my ley line thing and like touch the ground and like see if I can like see what the ley lines look like underneath, like or around where we are right now and where the Ankegs are?
Absolutely. Yeah. So you, as everyone's talking, and so you're saying this, you're doing this as Hex is talking
Yeah,
about this.
basically. Yeah.
You all see Leah blink, and when her eyes open, they're a glowing green. And Leah, you look down, and at first you see that stock standard, completely empty void, and beneath you, a river of green light.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange that around you, the light is around you and the party. The light is quite bright. You also kind of look around just to see what's around you. You notice that Celia, that there is that same pink and green shape that seems to be attached by some like green bright thread to the ley line. And then up ahead, around you, and I'll say that the green site, you don't really get directions, really. It's just kind of general vibes of where the magic is.
Okay.
And around you, up ahead, the ley line is... It has those black tendrils that you saw in the fruit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As soon as I see what I see, I come back.
Okay.
So I was listening to her, but also when I heard about the food and getting food back to like everybody above and people not having to like live in poverty, that was like the thing that actually I heard. I know you all lived like a different life than I did, and you saw like different parts of the cities than I have, but it's really rough up there. And I agree that we could maybe find food in a different area, but I've lived here my whole life. And I don't know how I feel about her, but finding this nest and finding like more Ankeg could be a good thing food-wise for everybody else upstairs. So I don't know if I fully trust her, but I do want to see like if it could be something that could be helpful for everybody else. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Okay.
I just want to be sure.
Yeah. I think that my thought is, in general, it's not smart to make quick decisions or
I
quick
agree.
judgments. So it sounds like, number one, and I think this is how I feel as well, we absolutely should get some more information. And our questions are, let me just double check with everyone. Here's what I think. We need to ask, what is the plan with the Ankeg and the food and how that helps the population upstairs? Because we're not against that.
Yeah.
But also, it sounds like we are a little nervous about the idea of wiping out all of the Ankeg, which we're worried is what she was talking about.
Yes.
That concerns me. And then also, she referenced other parts beyond just this moment, beyond just finding an Ankeg nest and a queen, that we are really confused about. And so
Yes.
I think we start small with the Ankeg and understand what exactly is the plan right now, this moment. But if we have an opportunity, I would definitely like to understand what she was talking about with the rift and with Leah's family and more. Is everyone on, do we agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. I'm
Go
gonna clap
team!
my hands. Should we do a high five, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, high five. Oh.
Thanks, Bill.
That was so beautiful.
Uh,
Okay.
Hex turns around, but Echo stays in high fives.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't even mind. What does the echo look like?
The Echo
What
has
echo do we
like
get to high five?
long, like very long, very brown hair. Is very like clean shaven. Has like knight's armor. Looks very like bro-y. Very excited for the vibe.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to turn around and also flip my hair and say, okay, our huddle has completed.
Okay, yeah. So you turn around to the tapping of Aerolith's foot.
I don't
and
even
she's
notice.
just standing with
I have a big
And,
smile on my face.
And she says, "Well,
Okay. Thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate it. We all, as a group, value open lines of communication and patience and opportunities to really understand what everyone is thinking and what everyone's priorities are so that we can get on the same page before we continue on in our journey. And it means so much to me and also us that you would wait for us to have our conversation. Here's what we're thinking. And then I would like to relay that our biggest questions are, I mean, what I just said, our main two questions with the Ankeg Queen nest discovery are, what does it mean to bring food to everyone upstairs? What does that look like? And do we have to kill all of the Ankeg? Why do we have to kill the queen?
So she says, the plan is to infiltrate this nest. We will, of course, have plenty of slain Ankeg to bring back up to the surface, which will feed countless people up there. And when we do kill this queen, ostensibly, they will create a new one. When this happens, we will capture it. And this new queen will be raised in our captivity, which means we will control the eggs, we will control the production of food, and theoretically, we will control the Ankeg themselves.
Whoa.
Like farming.
Like a farm, yeah.
Like
that's
a farm.
exactly what I was thinking.
Yes, exactly. Which means that not only will we have the means, but we will have the undying gratitude of the entire city. No more delving into unknown locations. No more hunting down rogue Ankeg with the risk of death.
That sounds great. Is the gratitude part essential for your plan? Just wondering.
That will come. However, I do understand that there are those in the city that would rather not be reliant or have the common folk reliant on those other than themselves. Which
Like
is
who?
why, well, like you and your family.
What? More food's better for everyone, isn't it?
Well, I know that. However,
I know that.
I also know the Cronlos. I know their disposition and their adversity to competition.
Well, I don't know about all that. The reason we wanted to operate the Grove or help out with the Grove is because it's so important to make sure everyone has food. That's one of the most important things in my family. We talk about it all the time, how important it is and how much care we take to make sure as many people as possible have all the food that they need.
And of course, you are a child. You
Well, I'm
wouldn't
not
know
strictly
the inner machinations of the accumulation of power. The Grove provides food for the upper plateau, while those in the lower areas must rely on either the scraps of the thoroughfare or the brave exploits of those like us that delve into the tunnels beneath and bring them the corpses of these Ankeg. Without the need, the reliance on the Grove, the Cronlos, and the Thalians for that matter, have no real presence.
The Grove feeds everyone in the city, doesn't it?
Not everyone. I never had the food there until the one day I came up. I don't even think I got to eat a meal actually when I ran into y'all. But
Whoa. Didn't we eat food together at my house? Certainly
We
you
did.
ate at my house.
Oh, you're right. I
Please
did.
tell me that you
It
didn't
was great.
skip
No,
food.
that was great. But that was the first time I ever had like
Really?
fresh food in that way. Yeah.
What do you eat?
This or or just random bits and bobs here and there, whatever I can.
I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
Well, I'm gonna eat regardless, so I'm not complaining. However, this would change things for so many people. They wouldn't have to like rely on weird jobs or like possibly die trying to get food anymore.
I've only ever heard my father talk about how important it is to keep everyone fed. So this seems like a great situation as long as everyone gets to eat. I think that's the same motivation for all of us. We all just want to work together to make sure everyone has food, right? And that's what you want too, right? It's just so that everyone has food. That's the motivation.
That is part of it, of course.
Can I
What's
roll
the
an
other
insight? Yeah, can I roll an insight check on her?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
14.
So 14. So you get the feeling that Aerolith is giving off a vibe of it seems as though she is giving you information piecemeal.
Yeah.
It definitely seems as though there is something else going on. And she hasn't told you what it is.
Right.
And she says that is certainly part of why we must do this. So
That sounds like a good plan then, I think.
What is the other part?
the other part,
Yeah.
Lady Thalion, your family has been known for as long as elves have been on this continent as the most powerful of the druidic mages. The thought of your family using their vast amount of power to provide fruit and plants for an entire city of people is laughable. It is embarrassing. My family was not known for our prowess, connection to nature. My family was a small elven line that had devoted themselves to the study of magic, and not very successfully. I believe that there is something in these tunnels. Something that the Ankeg have built their nest around. That is responsible for why the city is the way that it is. When the rift opened, it changed everything. It changed how... It changed the land. This wasn't always a desert. And I'm not sure how this city was immune to the attacks from demons. But I believe that the answer lies in these tunnels.
And it's why the ley lines are black?
The ley lines?
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't know?
Do you not know?
She says, I'm a high elf. I can't see ley lines.
So, this all started. All of this started from a fruit that we grew in the grove with black veins on it. I took a look into the ley lines far away all around Corpse Town was fine. Far, far away, I saw black in the ley lines. I come here while we were talking. As everyone was talking, I reached down into the ground, laid my hand down, and saw black. Right where we're standing.
Is that bad?
I look behind me and go, yes!
I've never seen a ley line. Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome. So we did discuss the fruit though.
The fruit was bad. That part
Did
was
you
bad.
discuss
I
the
remember
fruit with
that.
us?
Yes.
Like, well, me and
Oh, we
The
might not
hex?
have talked about the fruit.
Yeah,
Did we
this is-
show
I
you
I
the
don't think I
fruit?
did.
I'm
I don't think I
hearing
did.
about
I
it.
don't think I did. Yeah.
I don't
yeah,
think I remember you whispering the
Yeah.
word
Oh,
ley
yes.
lines, and then I know what ley lines are,
yeah.
but
You were like, yeah. So I'm telling everybody right now.
Yeah.
okay, cool.
So,
Uh,
but yeah, so I saw black, which is not good. We know this. Right where we're standing. And if you think that the Onkeg have built around this certain thing, we may have found maybe not the place that it's coming from, but one of the places that it is coming from. Or a place where it's more apparent. And I don't know what's causing it. We have no idea what's causing it. It's why the Grove has not been outputting as much food recently. Plants have not been growing the same. We want to feed everyone, but it's just impossible with what's going on right now. And now that you've said this, I think it's important to share with you. Because maybe you might have some knowledge on what I don't know. Because you seem to know a lot more than me about my own family.
you are also a child, so I'm not surprised that you are uninformed.
Yeah, how about okay, circle back.
How old
about
do
we
you think we all are?
We stop insulting me, please. With
I,
every sentence that you make, Aerolith. Please.
She seems to relax a little bit, and she isn't reaching for her book. She says, Lady Thalion, how old were you when the tarnation had occurred?
Oh man. How old was I?
So I think so. You were like 10, maybe.
I was gonna say I was
less.
like a baby.
Like you
a
were
baby.
born. You were born like maybe a few years before it happened.
Okay.
So like while you do know that you were around before it, you might as well not have been.
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. I was around like 10. Maybe even.
10. That would put you at around 107, 108, perhaps 113.
Yeah.
Lady Thalion, your parents are hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say that you are a child, I do not mean that you are lesser. If anything, you are more important, being one of the few elf children that I have met after the events of the Rift.
Wait, few?
Well, of course.
There's more of us?
Well, not here. This is in Affliction. Your family, and from what I understand, the Thalion line had moved to Affliction from our woods. My family, the Mendelonin, I had several siblings. There were several children. They were wiped out.
Wow.
The other lines, the other offshoots, even the other Thalion lines, they were destroyed. In ash and in fire. But I do know that there were some elves that managed to escape our fate. And they traveled south to the kingdom of Shib,
Okay.
or what remained of it. I've had no contact with them. For my family, we were the mages.
Yeah.
But I hope and I believe that they are still down there. For I know that on other continents, on Fenjerem, for example, the stronghold of all elf kind, there exists thousands, hundreds of thousands of us, living in harmony with the forest and with all things that grow. However, I digress. She actually, you notice that she kind of, wipes a few tears from her face. And, she says, I digress. We need you to survive. We need more elves, Lady Thalion. And your parents have been so busy providing food for humans and others that
Thanks.
that they have not been able to do much else. All that is to say, you four that we had met seemingly at random, running from the Church of the Living, that had assisted in saving Celia, what will you do in regards to our motivation?
Before we say, can you please repeat the two places that you mentioned? I missed the names a little bit. So the kingdom of, did you see the kingdom of Shu?
So,
Shiv.
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 Oh, I thought you said Shiv. My bad.
Sorry.
With an
I
X?
okay. And then the stronghold you said?
So the continent that she mentioned
Or
is called Fenjerem.
okay.
It is. I'm gonna say that you've probably heard of it because your parents are so old. There are.
Sorry.
So Fenjerem is a massive continent, about 3 times the size of Strife, to the south. You know that. So your parents have told you that there is basically from. I'll say let's have a flashback. We have a little flashback. Leah, your parents are talking to you.
Okay.
And this is after a long day in the grove. And your father, he says, "Leah, please, my child, come closer. There's something I must tell you."
Okay.
And
How old am I at this point?
I'll say you're 30.
Okay.
Maybe you're still quite young.
Okay.
You've just reached elf maturity.
Okay,
and-
so I'll walk over then. I was gonna say if I was young I was gonna waddle over, but I'm gonna walk over.
You can. I mean, you could waddle as a 30-year-old if you want. That's fine. I do it sometimes, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So you waddle over, and he puts a very loving arm over you. He says, "It is time that you learned of our history, child." And he says, "To the south," and he doesn't know a ton of illusion magic, but I'm gonna say he uses his druidic magic to create a map in the sand and in the dirt, and he's using plants as different colors, and little flowers start springing up for different things. And I'm actually gonna pull up a map that I didn't think I was going to pull up yet. So we're going to do this.
Ooh.
So he pulls up a map, and he says, "Our continent, the continent of Strife, is one of many in an area called the Chain, which of course is one of many in the world. This world is so much larger than you could possibly imagine, my daughter. And he says, to the south of this continent is an isle that is home to a great red dragon, Timadrax, the devouring flame. Further south still is Derothil, home of the High Elves, an offshoot of our own line. And further inland still is Eternity, a tree that is so large and vast that it pierces the very heavens, and the clouds form themselves around its mighty branches. And there, Leah, is where your mother and I hail from. We were born amidst the branches of Eternity, and we had learned our magic, the very magic that you possess now, from our ancestors. They say that Corellin himself blessed the Tree of Eternity, and its roots had dug deep into the land. So vast was this tree that it populated the entire continent with itself.
Wow.
The trees of Fainjarem are but branches of a single mighty tree. And I'm going to say he cups your face in his hands. And he says, and you, my daughter, much like these branches that cover the world, you are a branch of our tree. Your magic is the same as mine, and your mother's, and of your grandparents and great-grandparents, tracing all the way back to the god Corellin Larenthian himself. You must use your magic, your innate connection to nature and life. And he taps you on the center of your forehead, and this is the first time that you use your green sight.
Ah, okay.
And your eyes open seemingly for the first time. And you can see an overwhelming amount of colors and lights.
Wow.
And he says, breathe, my child. And you take in a deep breath, and the dazzling spectacle before you slowly comes into focus. And you see the true beauty of nature around you.
Wow.
And you come back, and we will go back to the regular map. How do I do that? Come on, roll 20. Move party ribbon. Great, amazing. We come back to present day. We come back to Leah. You can see you're back.
Yeah.
And Aerolith, she says, you've had your minute. We have work to do, especially if you are still being hunted. I'm not sure how much time we have. Nor do I know the exact whereabouts of our location. And she pulls up a little map of the tunnels, and it gets kind of fuzzy around where that river was, and then you're in this cavern with the mushrooms. And she says, I'm not sure we can get back the way we came. It may very well be that we must push forward and figure out how exactly to leave these tunnels. But we will. Not before our goal is accomplished. So what say you? Will you stand with us, or will you hinder us?
I just reach out my hand to her. As like a handshake.
Oh, she slowly
Sorry.
reaches her hand out. Fingers first.
And I just take her hand and I shake it. and I say, oh god, what do I say? Wait, I didn't think this far.
If you're struggling, are you hesitating?
No, I want to go with her. I want to say.
No, I meant like, are you like not sure what to say?
No. I'm like sure. I'm sure of what I want to say. I, as Kate, didn't know what she was gonna say.
Heard. I wasn't sure if in character you were like, I want to say yes,
yeah,
but I don't know the words.
I was like, wait, I didn't think this far. I just know I wanted to take her hand. And I say, I guess what I'm going to say is, you're good. You're good.
It's all
I
good.
thought I was muted when I was. Sorry.
You're okay. Okay, I take her hand. And I say, I'm in.
We're in. We're in.
Very well.
Sorry.
So you go up the stairs.
Can I cast message really quick? So sorry.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I want to cast message to Hex and say, we can be in but still be cautious, right?
You should only be cautious when you're in. Yes.
I'm just imagining like there actually being that pause, like in the
That's 100%. Yeah.
Hex understood that didn't make any sense, and then it was just like, yes. You can be in.
Potentially see Belle's face because I'm trying to like hide that I'm casting message, and then my face goes.
What?
Anyways.
It's amazing. So you have a little conversation, and you all pack up your things, and you begin to go up the stairs. Hex, I'm going to say that you are the only one. I mean, you are the only one that's been up there before. I'm going to say, Quick Pickles. He tromps back to you, and he says, "You mind coming up front? I really don't know what I'm doing."
Yeah, I'll lead the way.
All right, thanks.
And I'll grab Isong Dae.
Okay.
Not grab, but I'll kind of gesture to
Take him
Isong
with
Dae
you.
to kind of join me at the front.
Yeah, you hook arm. Yeah, so you the two of you are up front.
Are we out of earshot?
You can be if you want.
What are you trying to say?
Of Aerolith and other people?
Oh.
You can be if you'd like. Yeah, you can go up ahead.
Yeah, as we're walking, I just kind of want to, under my breath, to Isong Dae. Well, Isong didn't jump into the river, right? Aerolith didn't jump into the river, neither did he.
Yes.
Did he? Right?
He did not. It was
Aerolith
just
stayed
Turris.
back with only one person. I thought the one person she stayed back with was Quick Pickles. I think
Turris
Isong
was
Dae
the
was
only one who
Isong
jumped
and-
in.
Yeah,
it was
Turris is the
just-
only one that jumped in
Yeah.
after Celia.
Oh, I could have sworn that another person got in, but maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Okay. So, I guess I just, under my breath, just say, I just want to say to Isong Dae, how much do you trust Aerolith?
He says, elves live so much longer than us. Their motives are unfathomable, and their knowledge is immeasurable. I trust that she pays me, but so far she has not led me astray.
And do you agree with this plan?
I agree that it might get us all killed. You do not go into a nest of creatures and try and kill their queen without assuming much risk.
I agree. It's up this way. So I'll take Isong Dae up to the hole.
Okay.
I'll do my best to be as not sneaky, but I'm not trying to draw any attention. And I'll turn back to everyone else and just let them know we're right above. Tell them everybody to be quiet. And I'll show Isong Dae kind of what I saw before with the giant kind of voluminous and phosphorus mushroom tall towers and everything, and we'll get as much of a look as we can down the giant hole in the ground.
So yeah, you take a look, and he he looks around. He says, "This area is massive," and he looks through the hole in the ground, and he sees the queen. And he says, "We cannot kill this. Look at how many there are down there. This is a fool's errand."
Yes. Well, that's why I asked you how much you trust Erlith.
He says, "I know not just how powerful she is. I cannot imagine a spell that could kill this many Ankeg."
Well, if we're trying to farm the Ankeg, surely there are better ways, but are we sure that that's all we're trying to find? I grab him by the shirt. I grab him by the shirt and I say, Isongde, there may be dangers greater than Ankeg here. I need you to understand that.
So
And I let him go as I assume everybody comes back into the cavern.
So he looks down at the hole, he looks back at you, and then his eyes shift to Erlith and the rest of the party, and then you see, roll me a perception check.
12?
Alright, 12 is fine. You see, because you're so close to him, an imperceptible nod. Almost imperceptible nod. And he then, a little louder, says, "We must make camp over here for the evening." The rest of you catch up. It's just like, they're like 30 seconds ahead of you, if that. And you all enter this gargantuan cavern, filled with phosphorescent, beautiful, quite frankly, mushrooms, and an enormous hole in the ground that seems to be lit as though it had its own sun with the amount of phosphorescent mushrooms that are down there. You also see that there is an Ankeg that is absurdly big, covered in other Ankeg that are just crawling all over it, doing various things. Some of them seem to be eating things off of it, some of them seem to be like bringing fungus over to it, some of them seem to be feeding it, some of them seem to be collecting eggs at its base, but they're everywhere. Hundreds of them.
Real quick.
Yes,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I think my captions disappeared.
Oh, yep, good call. I'll send it.
I don't know how long. Well, I haven't said much, so I've just been vibing. But I think my captions disappeared. Thank you.
No worries,
Another
no
link
worries.
in the thing.
Sweet.
Got it.
So Isongde says, he looks at Erlith and he just points down the hole, and he says, how could we possibly do this? And he says, there's much research that must be done. Reconnaissance, scouting. Otherwise, we are all dead.
And that's Isongde saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll piggyback off that and say, surely we'll need, at the very minimum, more men.
We will need all of affliction if we are to accomplish this task. And Erlith, you can see like a little like vein in her temple pulsing, and she just looks down, looks at the huge Ankeg, and she just like gives this exasperated sigh, and she says, "Fine. We will go up to the thoroughfare. We will make our case to whomever we must. Perhaps Lady Crunlow will grant us an audience with her father, where he may call all other adventurers to lead an expedition down to these caves. And then we will accomplish our goal."
I love this plan. I think that when we present the plan to my father, maybe we can work on a little bit of polish and the way that we deliver it, because sometimes your intensity comes off a little frightening. I think it's passion, and I love that. But I think that when we deliver it, if we can just maybe we can practice a couple of times. I think that would be really good. Just, to give us a maximum chance. But Daddy loves adventuring. He loves Onkeg. He loves meeting my friends. He loves my friends. Not that I have a lot of them that I've introduced him to, but he loves me. So I think this will work really well.
So when you say you're very intense, she just kind of glares really hard, and but she says, "Fine. We will have to find a way out of these caves then, unless you all believe that we can swim upriver and then reverse our direction from whence we had come."
What? Okay, yeah. What, if I were just to get a quick gut check from Hex, as far as, you know what I mean? Like a sense of direction, how easy does Hex feel? I just want to see, how easy does Hex feel about finding a way out at this point?
He just knows where we are intuitively.
So there were a bunch of areas in that large cavern. There were several openings that went north that you hadn't explored. So it might behoove you all to maybe explore these tunnels.
Can I do a nature check to kind of give myself see which way would be the most, the best place to start? I guess
you can roll me a survival if you'd like.
Oh, okay.
I will.
What are we surviving?
15?
15. That ain't bad.
That ain't bad.
That ain't bad. So you get the feeling that, so specifically, you know that the way that you had come from the west, from the northwest. So theoretically, and you know that you were in Corpse Town, you started from there. So theoretically, anywhere north is a good starting point.
Okay.
Any of these tunnels might be the answer.
Okay. So north is a good idea, but any of the tunnels would be a good answer?
So there were three.
Three tunnels that are northern.
Yeah, I'll say with a 15, you eliminated some other points that you get the feeling there's probably not the way.
Okay.
But there were three that you feel like would be good that led north. Maybe, I'll say four tunnels that work.
Okay.
Leading north.
I'll share that with the rest, but I also think that we should probably camp before we, right?
Yeah. We need sleep and regain our...
Because we were all interrupted in our rest kind of by the attack,
yes.
right? So
yeah. A long rest would be very beneficial to all of you.
Yeah.
I love resting.
Yeah. So you make camp. I'll say that the phosphorescent mushrooms are quite plentiful around here, and they provide a lot of light. So if you are a light-sensitive sleeper, you need to cover your eyes if you want to sleep.
I'm a light-sensitive sleeper. Just out of curiosity, how close are we to the pit full of onkegs?
That's a good question.
We're there, I thought.
You're pretty close. You're pretty close.
The thing is, though,
we can move away from the pit.
I don't think that I've ever sleepwalked, but I do know that it is a thing. I've seen my mother do it before. She does the strangest things in the middle of the night you wouldn't believe. Anyways, and so just in case, if we're taking a guard schedule, which I assume we are, can anyone just make sure that I don't accidentally sleepwalk into the pit of Onkeg?
Girl, we got you.
Again, it's never happened to me, but if now were to be the first time that I ever sleepwalked, that would be really, really terrible. So, yeah. And I'll do the same for all of you, also, of course, if any sleepwalkers are in the group.
Bill says, toddler mode engaged, and he provides several pillows and little bits of string that he begins to wrap around your elbows and your knees, and one around the top of your head, and a little bow, and he just...
That's so thoughtful, Bill. Thank you.
Toddler mode.
And you, so you all sleep. You all fall asleep in the glow of these mushrooms. From here, you all level up to level 4.
Oh shit.
Yay!
And the way that I like to... So, for those of you at home, this is the first time we're leveling up in Predicting Chaos, let alone in the campaign. And I want to just clarify how I like to do level ups, because I think that the way the official material does it sucks. So we're going to do it... I believe that it should be more than just you reflect on your past adventures and then you somehow gain abilities. I think that's dumb. So what I like to do is, and what we're going to be doing now, is we're going to be doing little vignettes for each character, personalized as to why you gain these abilities and why you have these things happen to you. And it could be different. It's different for everyone. It's different for every campaign, from place to place. This is how we're going to do it today. So we're going to start in the reverse order of our fun facts. So we're going to start with Hex. Hex, I'm going to change this music a little bit. Here we go. So we have a little flashback. Hex, you are in a green land. Far green country with a swift sunrise. And you are in your... I'd say you're in your 30s, maybe? No, you're in your 20s. And it's been about a year of you on your own. You come back to a house that you bought with money that you earned. You have a deer slung over your back that you got yourself. You notice that coming from the chimney there is smoke in your hut. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm coming back. Does my house... There's a front door, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Are there
Very small, though.
Are there,
Like
are there windows? Okay, it's like studio house.
Yeah, like a studio, there's a single window.
Okay, I'll try to take a peek through the window before... I crouch. I see the smoke, I'll crouch with the deer. I'll slowly slide the deer off my shoulders and lay it to kind of rest on the grass. And I'll slowly kind of move forward to take a peek through the window.
So you crawl up to the window, and you take a peek in. There's a fire in the hearth. And it looks like there's some tea being made. From an old kettle that you'd received from a group of people that you had left.
Okay.
And they're sitting at 2 chairs up against, like, right outside the fire, are what we see as... at first, they kind of look like elves. Their skin is a pale green and yellow, mottled coloring. They both... One of them has has no hair on the top of his head, a beard and a mustache. The other one, her hair is in a top knot, long hair flowing down. They both have armor on, and one of them has a silver sword embedded with rubies at his hip.
Do I recognize?
You do.
Okay.
As Kalebastra and Pilekvu.
Kalebastra?
Yes.
Wait, Kale?
You know him as Kale.
Kale! My boy!
And Pilekvu.
Oh, Vu!
Yeah.
So this is Kale and Vu?
Vu, yeah.
These are my people. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a back door, right?
Yes. Yes, there is.
Okay. I'm gonna pull a little prank then. I'm gonna send my echo I'm gonna send my echo through the back door and just see if I can scare him.
Yeah. I'm going to say you haven't seen these guys in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's fine. Still want to do this. This is
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. Yeah, no, that's fine.
better.
I'm just setting. Yeah, but you send your echo, and your echo comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the back door gets opened, and they both stand at attention. Kale draws his sword. They see the echo, and they instantly.
Sorry. While
Yeah.
the echo's going in the back door, I want to come to the front door.
Yes.
So as they draw their weapons to address the echo, I already have my sword drawn and pointed at them so that if/when they turn around, they know I've gotten the jump on them.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So that happens. They draw their swords. You notice that Kale draws his sword at the echo while Vu turns her attention to the other entrance.
Ah, nice.
Because the two of them, and they instantly buddy cop go back to back.
Yeah, I love it.
And they relax as soon as they see the two of you come in at the same time.
Yeah.
They sheath their weapons, and these two Githyanki, they breathe out a sigh of relief, and Kale says, "Hex, it's been a while."
Well, clearly not long enough for you to use my teapot.
He says, "Well, technically it's my teapot now, isn't it? But,
How do you figure that? Technically, it's your teapot.
well, I'm the one who stole it."
And then whose house is it in now?
Well, he says, "Alright, you fucking..." And he sheathes his sword.
All right. Well, pour me a cup of tea. I have a deer that I need to go get. And I'll walk back out and get my deer and bring it in. In the back of it's a very small house, but there's still there's a table in the back that's about working height, and it's but just long enough just for me to put the whole deer. And while the next conversation, I just want to be skinning.
Yeah. So he says to you, he says, "I see you've made a pretty good place here.
Well,
Is
it's
it
not
nice?"
much. It's not much, but it is nice. It's a good place to call home, and you can hear kind of the knife, very sharp knife, working through the pelt.
Yeah. So he says, "I hope you've liked it, and I hope that you've gotten your fill of living this life here. And
How did you find me, Kale? Again, just working up toward the neck and the head.
so Vu, she stands up and she walks over to you and she puts a hand on the back of your head." And you see, she makes this motion. I guess you don't see it because it's on the back of your head. But she makes this motion that it's drawing out something. And you see some essence of, it could be your echo or something. It looks like blue, green, purple mist that she pulls off, and she holds it in her hand. And there's this glowing rune that's slowly moving in a circle in her hand. She says, "We never lost you."
Do I know what this is? Is this a tracking device?
This is a tracking thing that you've seen them put on other people, and you do not know when they would have put it on you. But you've been...
Mother. Can I get? Is her taking that out of me? Is she just showing me that it's in there, or if I got rid of that rune that's in her hand right now, it would get rid of it? Do you know what I mean?
It seems like she took it off of you. So it's not... It's that's her taking it off.
Do I know what it's called?
Yeah, they just call it the tracker.
Okay. So she does that. She pulls it off of me. You put a tracker on me.
I would say you do a face flash as that's happening, and
it's all anger. It's all just angry. It's all just a flash of anger, and
so as that happens, as you do the face flash, she just kind of gestures at your face. She says, and she closes her hand. The rune vanishes, and she says, "Well, yeah, I mean, we can't let you go."
Okay, so why now? Why are you here now? If you knew where I was all this time, why are you here now?
She says, "Well, we know where you were. Rest of them didn't." And, well, we caught wind of something. That's, And she seems like she's at a loss for words, but Kale steps up, and he says, something's coming. Hex. Something big. And this area, this house that you built, and everywhere near it, it ain't gonna be safe for very long. So we need you to come with us. We're going north.
And if I don't?
He slowly stands up and he opens the window. And he says, you like this? You like breathing, eating, sleeping?
Yes, I'm particularly fond of eating, breathing, and sleeping.
He says, well, that's good. If you want to keep doing those things, then you'll come north with us. That's what, if you don't, you ain't gonna do none of those things no more. You understand? And it's not on our behalf. I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you that all this here is gonna go up in fucking flames. Unless you come north with us. Well, it's gonna happen no matter what. So you need to come north with us where it's safe. Or safer.
And you're saying if I don't, what then?
Then
I'm almost finished with the
Yeah.
with like I'm real quick with it. I'm being very aggressive with how much I'm.
He says, well, if you don't, then you're going to be caught up in whatever happens down here. Hey?
You put a tracker on me. And you left me alone until this. This is it. This is the only reason.
So Vu, she puts a hand on your shoulder. She says, we put a tracker on you because we were scared. I put the tracker on you, alright? And I didn't want you to be out here by yourself. We left the rest of the crew. Alright? They're out somewhere in the Astral Sea, raiding, pillaging, doing all the fun stuff. We lost our skiff. We're stranded here. Kale came with me because out of everyone on the crew, we give a shit about you. She says, and she looks at your face, she says, I know that look that you get. That look that you got, that's the one. Right there. And I know that. Yeah, and you face flash. Yeah. And she says, and I know what triggers those on you. You know how I know that? Because I fucking love you, kid.
I'll finish skinning. I'm gonna bring the knife back up over, and I'm gonna chuck it as hard as I can. And I want it to like go right between Kale and Vu.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna, as hard as I can. It's gonna go right between them. It's gonna land like all the way to the hilt in this part of the wall on the other side of the room. And then I'm gonna walk past them. I'm gonna pull it down, and the wood that it's embedded in comes off the wall. It reveals like a hidden part behind the wall, and it has my cloak, it has my sword, it has my shield. Say, well, fuck, Kale, get the deer, and I'll put all my stuff on, and I'll follow them out as long as Kale gets the deer.
Amazing.
And carries it with us.
Amazing. So we kind of zoom out from there, and we see that we are in the southern part of the continent of Strife, but it's not a desert. There's no black sand. There's no volcanoes. It is green, woods, beautiful, lush countryside. And we cut back to Hex, where you open your eyes, you wake up, and it's been a full 8 hours of rest. And we're going to get to each one of you of your uninterrupted long rest. Where Hex, you notice that the light from these mushrooms has been bathing you this entire time. And you've been tense from the dream, the memory of throwing this knife out, pulling it down, and you notice that these spores are all over your skin. And you feel stronger for it. And you are a level 4 fighter. Congratulations.
Yay!
You have elected to put 2 points in strength.
2?
Which mean, I think so, right?
I only put 1, but I can put 2.
Well, no, I mean, like, as far as, like, going from, like, from 14 to 16.
I went from 15 to 16, but I can go from 15 to 17.
Yeah, so you put either 2 and 1 or 1 and 2. So you can, yeah. So
shit. Well, then let me do, well, my bad. I only put 1 period. So let me put 1 in strength to make it 16, and then I'll put 1 in dex to make that 14.
Amazing. Yeah. Perfect,
right.
Perfect. Yeah, so you get, so your dex is now an additional +1.
Right.
Your strength is additional +1, and you gain hit points. So what you're going to do is, you're going to roll that hit dice button.
Yes.
Actually, sorry, before you do that, don't do that yet. As a group, we're going to make a decision. When you gain hit points, you have the option of rolling to gain hit points, or getting the middle dice roll for your die. So if you have a d10, you get 5 hit points, plus your constitution. Or you can roll for it. And that's what it's going to be for the game.
So I can either decide together, or is it?
So it's going to be individual, but you're all going to kind of decide, like, as you.
I'm a gambler, baby.
Gamble. Yeah, gamble. Hell yeah.
I'm a gambler, baby. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm rolling.
9. Nice.
That's why we gamble.
Amazing. That's why we gamble. So
don't do what I do.
Yeah. Amazing. So you are now the proud owner of 34 hit points. Congratulations,
Yay.
Hex.
Thank you.
Wow.
Fantastic. All right, so that is Hex. Okay, so we're going to go to Mavis. Mavis, I want you to tell me... So, Mavis, this is when you're having your long rest. I want you to tell me what your favorite activity to do with Lilith was when the two of you would just hang out.
We would play like little harmless pranks on other people, and so that was really fun.
Amazing.
That was probably like one of the favorite.
Okay.
Things. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, this is so. Oh God. Sage.
Yeah, did I give you a good setup? Okay, perfect.
Oh God, you're amazing. Okay. Great. So, so you and Lilith, we cut to. So we see Mavis sleeping. And we kind of zoom in, the camera zooms in like directly through Mavis's forehead, and we cut to the streets of Swedgen, and at first it's just people lugging things to and fro. We see a guy dragging a giant Ankeg leg off to cook on the grill, and then we see 4 feet, two sets of legs just run across our camera, and a little something dripping behind them as one of them is carrying something, and then we see 2 large legs running after them, and we kind of we pan upward, and we see Lilith and Mavis hauling ass through the streets of Swedgen. They each are carrying part of a large sack of something that is dripping out the back, and there's this guy yelling at them like, "You kids get back here! You kids get out! You stop over me!" And we see, as you are coming up to almost a dead end in the alley, Lilith, she says, "All right, let's drop it!" And the two of you drop it. You scramble up a little area of holes in the wall, and you just climb up to the roof of a building, and you just run. And this other guy, he's too big. He's an adult, and he is too big to actually climb up. And he's just like shaking his fist at the two of you. And he's like, "Oh, you stupid kids! You stop playing pranks on me!" You notice that there's something splat on his butt that like it's like bright blue paint.
Awesome.
And his fists are also like covered in this blue goo, and he's just like, "Oh, you stupid kids!" So the two of you are laughing, and you sidle down an alley, and you're out of breath, but you just start laughing as the two of you just kind of slump against the wall, and you slide down to a sitting position. We cut to maybe like an hour later, as the sun is beginning to look like it's going to set soon. And Lilith, she says to you, "You been practicing?"
Yeah, every day. Flute, right?
Wonderful. Yeah, flute, Mavis. What else would I be talking about? She what?
Nothing.
Yeah, you play a really nice scale in A major, and it's just really, really nice. She says, or I'll say that you play a scale, and then she says, "All right, now that you're warmed up, it's time for that little ditty." And she takes the flute from you, and she begins to play this song that the meter is strange to you. It seems as though it's in it's not in your standard 4/4 average song. It seems like it's percussive and has it's strange. And she gives it back to you, and she says, "Music isn't about the notes or the rhythm or even the words." And she says, "It's about what's in here. It's about intent. It's about what you want." And you play a very simple song that she taught you. It's kind of like one of the children's nursery rhymes that you would hear in Affliction. And she says, "You cannot. I think you know the song well enough that you can add your own flair to it." And, Mavis, I'd love you to roll me a performance check, please. I'm going to say that your performance skill was always this good. So...
Period.
Yeah.
Let's hope, right?
Yeah, right?
Alright.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeehaw! Yes, it is.
21, that's great. So you play the fuck out of this song, and you start adding your own twists to it. You truly make it your own. It's not just Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's like Mavis had a fucking flock of lambs, and and it's a whole thing. It's truly your own piece now. And she says to you, she's just clapping along, she's stomping her feet, and she says, "That's it! That's exactly it, Mavis!" And she says, "You can do that for anything. It's not just music. You can take anything and make it your own. You have that ability. You have that power." And she says, so you say that you look at the flute. It's the flute that it's her flute, but she says, "That's yours now." And I know that you owned it, but now you earned it.
Really?
Yeah, really. And she says, "Music, it can do wondrous things, Mavis. It ain't just sounds. It's magic." And as you begin playing again, turning the corner into the alley is this large man, and he has blue all over him.
Oh.
And he runs over to you, and he goes to throw a punch, and before you can even register what's going on, Lilith is standing in front, and she has her arms flung out to her sides, and there is a large, what looks like an alchemic transmutation circle in front of her, and the fist collides with the circle and makes no impact. And you see that she just screams, and it's technically a note, but it's more of just a shout of anger. The man stumbles backward, and he runs out of the alley.
Good riddance.
She says, "You're damn right. You're damn right. Good riddance." She she says, yeah, she looks at you. She says, I was scared too, Mavis." And she says, let's get some food. Yeah?
Yes, please. It's been a long day.
All that running around, and yeah, I worked up an appetite. So the two of you, later on that night, you're eating dinner.
Heck yeah.
And I'll say that it's, they call it Swedge and Slop. And it's basically it's, little bits of onkeg, maybe little bits of other stuff.
Good old slap. Yeah.
Good old Swedge and Slop. And two of you are just slurping it down. And,
as one does.
yeah, as one does. And she looks behind. I'll say that you're in an alley, your favorite alley, one of your favorite alleys, and you notice that she kind of looks beyond you for a second, and she squints, and then she looks back at you. Mavis, what would you like to do?
And be like, what you looking at?
Yeah, you turn and you see that guy from earlier scouting out the two of you.
My favorite alley.
And, yeah, in your favorite alley, no less. And he looks at the two of you, and he's got a couple of people with him.
Oh.
And he elbows one, whispers something to him, and then nods his head over at the two of you. And the three of them just walk away. Lilith clocks this. You clock this.
Yeah.
And I want you to roll me an insight check, Mavis. Okay. 13's good.
Good?
Okay. She seems to know something. She seems to recognize something. And I'll say that with 13 insight, it's above average. One of the people that guy was talking to had a wand at his hip. In a holster.
Oh.
And
okay.
She looks at you, Mavis, and her eyes dart to the flute, and back to you, and she says, "Do you hold on to that?"
Yeah, but why are you saying that?
She says, no reason. It's important. Well, it's important is why. And, well, Mavis, you're important.
You're
All right.
important. You're very important to me.
Aye, and you're really important to me too, Mavis. I know it's hard. And she kind of looks around and kind of gestures around her. She says, I know that this is hard. But, I find that when things are hard, when things are difficult, like this, it's the things that make you smile. That's what you gotta hold on to. And Mavis, you make me smile. I don't want you to lose that. I want you to keep smiling, alright?
I will. Yeah, of course. And you will too, right?
Of course. Especially after I do this, and she takes her slop and she like throws the bowl in your face, and she like she starts laughing, and she like kind of like pushes you off your crate that you're sitting on,
All right.
and the slop gets in your face, it's in your eyes.
That's great. Yeah. Wasn't eating that or... Actually, I guess I could still eat it.
When you clear the slop out of your eyes, when you finally come to, Lilith is gone.
Oh, no.
Seems like she ran off somewhere.
As Mavis.
And Mavis, that's the last time you ever saw her.
Oh my goodness. My heart.
You wake up
Yeah.
from your long rest with this memory in your mind, fresh in your mind, clearer than you've ever remembered it before, bathed in the light of these mushrooms, this phosphorescent halo of light, the spores around you. You wake up holding your flute. You remember the spell that Lilith cast, the blade ward that protected the two of you in that alley. And you remember the way that you made that spell, the way that you made that song your own. You realize you cast your spells through magic. And you can make your magic your own too. You can change your spells for greater effect, for different effect. And you are a level 4 bard, Mavis.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
You have taken the
let's
spell Prestidigitation.
Nice.
Yes.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. You took the spell Blade Ward.
I did.
We spent a whole fucking flashback on it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, that's not it. No, yeah. You took the spell Blade Ward, and you also took the spell. I'm changing the name of the spell.
Nice. Oh, what are you changing it to?
So in your spells, there's a level 2 spell that says "Do not cast yet." We're going to change that name. So you have Fairy Fire,
Yes.
and you realize that you can change that. It's not just Fairy Fire anymore. You can cast it with more potency. It is Mavis's Fire.
Yo!
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
Nice.
So cool.
So,
That's really cool, actually.
so you find that this light, these spores, you cough some of them out, and you have chosen to put 2 points. So everyone's level 4 now. You have chosen to put your 2 points in charisma.
Yeah.
Which means your charisma is now a 14. Sick. And you gain more hit points. So,
Finally.
Mavis, would you like to roll for hit points or take your hit die as a bard as D8? Would you like to take 4? which will, because your constitution is -1, it'll
Yeah.
become 3. So would you like to gain 3 hit points or roll and see how many you get?
Can I roll and see how many I get?
Go for it.
And I just hit the hit
Just
dice,
click the
right?
hit dice button.
Yeah.
5. That's great. That's great.
Nice.
You are now the
Nice.
owner of 20 hit points.
Oh,
Congratulations, Mavis.
Let's go.
Nice.
Congratulations. Amazing. Great job. All right, so now we will go to Leah. So Leah, you're in your meditation. We're gonna do some different music. We'll do this one. This seems good. So Leah, you're the one that taught you archery. I'm gonna say that we have a flashback to you are. I'd say this is like maybe when you're like 50 that you decide that you're not super cut out for druid stuff. Your parents
Yeah.
had that your father. Okay, actually, we're gonna play that out. So Leah, you're a 50-year-old elf.
Yeah.
You've had about 20, maybe 25 years of like adulthood. And you come up to your father, and he says, "Yes, Leah, my darling.
Dad.
Hi, hello. Yes, why aren't you helping grow food and good berries?"
Well, you see here, I don't know. I'm finding more joy and more of my talents to be with archery. And I like say that like as a like I'm like expecting like huge like backlash from this. Like what you mean?
So he says, archery, a very strange departure from growing vegetables and fruit.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I like the precision. I like, just like having to focus on something like that, like, and being able to hit the target, and like my teacher's been really cool and everything and awesome and has taught me really a lot of really good things. I just don't find myself to be that good at magic.
So he looks at your mother, and they both say at the same time, "Archery phase." And so, he said,
What?
He says, "Oh, worry not, Leah. I went through a ranger phase myself when I was around your age. It
Mom,
only lasted..."
Dad, this is not a phase. Okay.
Your mother says, "Don't you worry, my dear. I had gone through my archery phase. It lasted 300 years. But eventually, I got back to being a druid." And he says, "Of course, we will find... we figured that you would have some proclivities towards different areas of magic and different areas
Dad, are you
of
okay?
prowess."
Like she like looks at him and he's like shaking.
She like your mother puts her hands on your father's hands, and you notice that he's like, and she says, "Don't you worry, dear, it will be fine." She says, "Leah, when we had found many teachers for you to learn many things, and we had assumed you would be more into history or something of that nature, but archery is a fine profession for a young elf like yourself."
I still like it. It's
Of
just
course
not
you
what
do.
I wanna do
Of
for the
course.
rest of my life,
Of course. Well, your life has just begun. You're but a wee elfling, and we will have many, many things for you to learn. And your father, he comes down from his panic attack, and he says, "Oh, Leah, my darling, we will get you the finest. Your introductory mentor was one of the local archers in the guard, but we will get you the finest archery tutor that money can buy in all of affliction.
Wait,
Why don't you
really?
come back here to this spot tomorrow morning, and we will. And he like grows a tree to form like an archery like target with like leaves are forming like the little bullseye and everything.
Yeah.
And he says, of course, you are my child, and you will get the best education that I can provide. And
Thanks, Dad.
yeah, the next morning, you right as the sun rises, I'm gonna say you barely meditated,
I run.
and you get back, and there is a very crusty looking dwarf sitting on a stump. And it's not, I'll say there are no stumps in the grove. It's a tree that has grown into a chair shape, and he's sitting there, and he looks up at you. He's got crumbs in his beard, he's got a fine layer of grime on him, and he looks up and he says, "Aye, you, come here."
Hi. Do I know you?
Not yet, but I know you, and I know your dad.
Oh, you know my dad. Then who are you?
Bori Bouldershard.
Okay, Bori. What do you
Hi.
do? What are you doing here? What are you just sitting here and admiring the state?
Hey, I'm admiring the grove. I haven't seen this much greenery since I blew my nose this morning. And
Are you okay?
I am
Oh, you
fine.
said you blew your nose. I thought you meant like someone like that. Okay, never mind.
Oh no, I bleed red like any dwarf, dearie. And he pulls out. He's got a large pack with him, and he pulls out a bow. And he kind of twirls it around in his hand a
This
bit.
is when Leah realizes she's like trying to keep it in. She's like, okay, just watching as he does this.
He says, I understand you have some expertise with this, some experience, eh?
Yeah.
That's good. But can you do this? And he grabs a handful of pebbles at his feet, and he just throws them all up in the air. And he just starts, he has like a little quiver on his back, and he just starts like shooting each pebble. And he doesn't get them all, but like he gets most of them.
Yeah.
And
I'm just like-
I think it's like 6 out of the like 20 that he threw up. But he fired 6 arrows. So like he gets all the ones that he shot, but yeah. So he says, "Aye." He says, "That's what you want to learn, dearie."
Yeah, that was sick.
I've been around longer than most of the humans around here. I can teach you a thing or two. They call me the Accurate Boulder Shard.
Sorry. But I thought you said they called you something else earlier. Are we going by 2 names now, or should I just call you Bori? Or
So he says, just Bori is good.
okay,
Or Teacher Bori.
let's go with Bori.
Alright,
Yeah.
that's good too. So he begins to work with you, and at first, like, he has quite a pungent odor.
Yeah.
He says, washing is for the weak, and he's like teaching you a few things. I'll say that days, weeks, months, years go by, and I'll say that your progress it's slow, but you love it, and you love doing it.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you keep doing it?
Yes.
And you and he says at some point, I'll say it's been like 10 years, and he says, "Hey, haven't had the most natural aptitude for this, I'll admit. But
Oh.
no, and he I'll say at this point you've met like his family, like his family's come up for dinner, and like there's a bunch of boulder shards that live in Affliction.
Okay.
And it's like this, you end up learning about the boulder shards and about their clan, and he's like, you know, he'll constantly be like, one day we'll go back to the mountain and we'll reclaim it, and but he ends up, he talks about like his cousins that live like way the fuck far away, and he ends up one day he says, one morning you come up and he says, it's been 10 long years, and I will admit you don't have the most natural aptitude for this, but, and he said, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, so he has to like stand on his tiptoes, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, but you worked very hard at this, and that is a sign of someone who loves what they do. If you were naturally good at this, I would have lost heart. I couldn't have taught you what I taught you. But despite every failure, every time the bowstring snapped on your arm, every callus that you got on your fingers, every time that your hair got caught on something, you persevered. You came back stronger than the day before.
I try.
I know. Oh, I know you tried. You tried real hard. And he says, I've never been prouder to train someone than I have you, Leah Thalion.
Oh, thanks, Bori.
You're most welcome. And that's why I commissioned this. And your father steps out from behind a tree, and he says, we had grown this branch from a very special tree in the grove, the ironwood tree. It flowers once every 50 years, my dear. It flowered once, and here we have taken a branch and given it to Bori, where he had crafted it into this. And he unwraps it, and it is a fine bow. It is a beautiful bow. It is the bow that you still have, Leah.
Yep.
And the string is made, it seems like it's this bright red string. And Bori begins to talk about it. He says, the ironwood, very strong, something that you require. It requires strength to pull back, and you've been building that up. He like kind of slaps you between the shoulder blades. He says, this strong as the mountainside, and he like slaps your arms, and he says, thick as tree trunks they are now. And
oh my god.
he says, when you came to me, you were a scrawny wee elflin. He says, and now look at you, an archer, a ranger. And he says, the ironwood bow, and he points to different like things that had been carved into it. He says, that's the Boulder Shard clan. That's dwarvish there, lass.
Wow.
It's because you make me proud.
Thanks, Bori.
He says, aye. And he points to the string, the bowstring. He says, that's from me own beard, that string.
What?
Oh. Okay. So you make all of your bows with the hair on your beards?
Only the
Is that
good
a thing?
ones.
Only the good one. Okay.
Aye. And
And she's like real like a little bit like unsure about it, but she like trusts Bori because like all the years she's like, okay.
Well, it's not. I don't just cut up my beard and sew it into a rope. You've got to cure
I
it.
wouldn't think that. No.
You use dwarven magic. My cousin. He's an artificer. You see, worked for the.
What do they call him? Tell me what they call him.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Please, I beg of you.
Dead leg. Boulder shot.
Wow. What a name.
Aye. He works with the smithy. He worked for Baron Crunlow before the city became this shithole.
Oh wow.
Aye. They say that there are lost artifacts somewhere that we've made. You won't get much finer crafting than the dwarves.
I believe it.
Aye.
I believe it.
It's my family that used to provide the Crunlows with their bloody fancy metal men. And so,
metal men. What do you mean by metal men?
don't you worry about it. It's not your concern. Why don't you try out the bow? And
Okay, can I? He like gives. Can I? So he gives me the bow, right? He like, and because I'm imagining I'm quite taller than him, right?
mhm. Oh yeah,
Okay.
like a good 2 feet taller than him.
Oh yeah. Okay. So he hands me the bow. He doesn't like look up. Like I feel like he doesn't like look up at me. So I have to really like kneel down. And
Yeah,
I ask
incredible.
him for. He gives me the bow.
Incredible. Yeah, he gives it to you, bows his head,
I am kneeling,
and you take the bow.
and then I stand back up. And then this is his view of me. Like he just sees that.
Damn.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, and you pull the bow back. It is a hard pull, but you've worked so fucking hard to get this, and you pull it back, and you launch that first arrow right into the center of the target, where you've been working so hard to get it. And from here we zoom out back to Leah as you finish meditating, and there is a glint that you see in these caves. So firstly, you are a level 4 ranger. Congratulations. You realize that you've been bathing in the light of these mushrooms, and the spores in your deep meditation have gotten on you, and you kind of brush them off.
Yeah.
And you have elected to put a point in. You've elected to put 2 points divided, right, into your stats.
I divided it. Yep.
Yes, and you've already done that in your character sheet.
I don't
Or-
remember doing that on my character sheet.
Okay, perfect. Then let's do that now then.
I don't think I did.
Oh no, that's not true. I did it for you.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say.
yes.
I think you did all the stuff for
Yes,
me.
perfect.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Great. Yes. You also, because your stats haven't changed. Yes, that's right. You are getting a magic item as well. I'm gonna say that you look when you come out from meditation in the caves, in the distance, in one of the tunnels that Hex said we should check that out. There's a small glint of light, and you look through that cave. You have dark vision. There's a quiver. There's a quiver with dwarven runes on it that is covered in dust. And you walk over and you blow the dust off, you wipe it clean, and you recognize the Boulder Shard sigil that matches the same one on your bow.
Yeah.
Righteous.
This is a magical quiver. It is the arcane quiver. I'm gonna send you the details of it. I think I have already. 3 times a day, you may imbue an arrow with one of the following properties. So either you can imbue it. This item will gain powers and charges as you level up, and as you gain experience. Right now, it can do one of two things.
Yep.
3 times a day. Either it is a grappling hook. When the arrow hits its target, it's fastened until the target uses an action to unfasten it. You can use your action to pull the target towards you, or to pull yourself towards the target. Or, it is a seeking arrow. The arrow curves around corners and people until it hits the target. So instead of making an attack roll, when you say, Tyler, I want to use a seeking arrow, I have the enemy make a dexterity save. It will hit no matter what, so they will be taking damage no matter what. If they pass the dexterity save, it'll be half damage. If they don't, it's full.
Okay.
And that is your level up. Also, would you roll me a hit dice, please?
Yes. Question. Where is that on my character sheet?
No
Did
worries.
you add it?
I did not. I did not yet.
Okay,
So,
okay, that's fine. That's
see
fine.
your hit points, temporary hit points, and then your hit dice and then death saves are right next to each other in the center of your character sheet.
Yep. Okay.
So once you click on hit dice, amazing,
Nice.
5. Great. You are now the proud owner of 39 hit points. Congratulations, Leah.
Thank you.
Golly.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Golly.
39?
39.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was 34
My
before.
goodness.
That's really something.
Yeah, Leah's beefy, for sure.
I'm a twig.
All the training with Bori.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's right.
Bori
Yeah,
Boulder Shard?
Boulder shard.
Boulder
Of
Shard.
the boulder shards.
Not Boulder Shark.
Okay, I'm
Oh my
I'm
God.
unfamiliar
I
with the
love
Boulder
them.
Shards.
the Boulder
Shards
Shards.
was funny, actually.
So- So as a fun fact, the Boulder Shards exist in every campaign that I run, and in
that's so
campaigns
fun.
that I'm a player in, and in other people's campaigns. Like it's a large family of dwarves that have reached like multiple campaigns.
Is there a Boulder Shard? Is that the dwarf with the daughter that got?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I did
yeah.
not-
Even
I
in the
did-
campaign that Sebastian was a player in, there
Yeah.
was a Boulder Shard.
Yeah.
Like other
Wow.
campaigns. Yeah, they're in every campaign. They're everywhere.
I
Yeah.
like them.
Alright.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Every Boulder Shard has a moniker. Bori is the accurate Boulder Shard. There's the Magic Boulder Shard. Bella played a Boulder Shard in a one-shot. She was Portabella, the Druid Boulder Shard.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was But so yeah, if you watching at home and you're a dungeon master and you want a good family of dwarves, just make the Boulder Shards. They're everywhere.
Boulder
They're
Shard.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And they're great. They're wonderful people. So, we will now go to Belle. So, Belle Crumlow. Here we go.
Yeah.
We zoom in. We see Belle is sleeping on Bill in bed mode, and she's got, her very, very comfortable. She's in a little cocoon of blankets. And
With my toddler mode restraints.
yes, with your covered in pillows that are strapped to her, and we get a memory, Belle, of you with your first magic lesson. Your mentor, your teacher, is a gnome, Magus Dizzy Fasisley. And he said, and he's standing on the desk, and Magus Dizzy says, "All right, first lesson of magic. Always prepare Featherfall." Now, a lot of people, they laugh at that. You know what happened to them? Splat. Yeah, that's right. They splat on the ground. They didn't prepare Featherfall. It's a very useful spell. It's not just useful for you, it's useful for all your friends. And your father tells me you've got a natural knack for the arcane. Wow! That's pretty neat. And he takes a little gnome-sized chair that's on top of the desk, and he swivels it around and sits on it like reverse style. And
Yeah.
he says, I'm gonna teach you your first. You know what a cantrip is?
No.
A cantrip is it's a spell that's so easy it doesn't even expend any resources. You can just snap your fingers and something happens.
Okay.
And he says, magic comes from many different sources. Some wizards, they learn from books. And he says clerics, they get their magic from gods. And he says, and druids, they get their magic from nature, and it's very important. And he says, and then he says, but you little Lady Crunlow, you get your magic from somewhere else. And he says, do you know where you get your magic from?
How old am I right now?
I'm gonna say you're like 6.
Sick. Ponies!
He says, very close. You get your magic from a far-off plane called Mechanus. And he says, your lineage, your bloodline, is all about connection to the laws of nature. And nature requires balance. You see? Everything from here to there to up to down, everything's got an opposite. Light has dark, good has bad, up has down. Imagine that. That's pretty cool, huh? Pretty neat.
What's the opposite of ponies?
Cows.
Okay.
Yeah. He takes a little notepad and furiously writes something down and puts it back in his pocket. And he says, I'm going to teach you all about the origins of your magic. And he begins to cast, he begins to cast this spell, like a little minor illusion. And it is of, you see there's a single sphere that is glowing multicolored, like a rainbow. He says, this is the material plane. This is where you and I live. This is where we are right now. And then he snaps his fingers, and appearing above and below it are 2 discs. One is a bright gold, one is a dim, like a dull gray. He says, above us and below us are 2 planes that mirror the material plane. This one up here, this is the Feywild. This is where fairies come from. A lot of people say it's where my people, the gnomes, came from. It is where the elves came from, for sure. Long time ago. And he says, below, this is the Shadowfell. This is where everything is a dull, pale, bad reflection of everything in the material plane. A lot of, not good things live here. Things that'll eat you. And he snaps his fingers again, and 4 other spheres appear in orbit. Red, green, blue, and white. He says, surrounding these are the elemental planes: earth, water, air, and fire. These 4 things, they combine through this little soup all around. And he kind of points to the areas in between all of the planes. He says, this is the elemental chaos. It's where anything could happen. Nobody knows what could happen. And he says, and through this chaos, we have, and he kind of like zooms the map out, where there are 16 other spheres in a great wheel. He says, here we have the outer planes. This is where, I'm sure you've heard your dad talk about alignments. Now, some people, they don't care about alignment, but it's very important. And he says, good, evil, law, chaos. Everyone's got them. Especially these planes. These planes actually don't have all of them. And he points to the bottommost one. He says, down here, this is the abyss. This is where demons come from. It's a really bad place. It embodies chaos and evil. And he points up to a different sphere at the top. He says, over here, this is Bitopia. Kind of like a heaven. It's beautiful. Lots of angels and good things live here. And then he points all the way to the right. where the sphere turns into a cog, like a gear, and he says, "This here is Mechanus. It is a plane of absolute law and absolute neutrality. Good and evil don't exist here. Nor does chaos. It's just everything in balance." And he kind of pulls that sphere over so it's the center of where you're looking at. And he zooms in. And you see a clockwork paradise. There are gears the size of countries that are just all moving in perfect time with other gears. And there are tiny little metal men all over these gears in perfect lockstep. And he says, "Your family, long time ago, the first Baron Crunlow, came into contact with this plane. Its energy infused him, and he was able to access it. And his children, and his grandchildren, and their children, all were able to access that power." And he says, "Now eventually, that started to not happen so much. Your ancestors started to lose their magic. Until just once one child in every few could get the ability to do what you can do, Belle." And the illusion disappears. And he says, "Everything needs balance. For everything that isn't, there's something that is. You're the thing that is. That's why you gotta hone your gifts. Make sure you use them for the good of everybody here. But that power is yours. It doesn't belong to anyone else. And it's up to you with how you use it." He says, I'm gonna teach you one that your dad doesn't even know. It's called prestidigitation. And he starts he says it does everything. I don't know why everyone doesn't know it. It's the best spell ever. And he says, "You want to light this candle? Boom! Prestidigitation." And candle lights. He's like, "Snuff it out? Done. You want to make a fart sound?" And he he's like, "You want to..." It does everything. And he begins to teach you this cantrip. And you can't quite wrap your head around it. It seems like your powers are rejecting it. It seems like the spell is a little too chaotic for you to fully embrace. But he then gives you the layout to the Featherfall spell. And he says, "This is one of the most important spells you're ever going to learn." And he stands up from his chair. And he says, "Are you getting this? Is this too much? I feel like I'm talking too much."
I am getting lots.
He says, all right. I never know how human babies work, so gnome babies understand a lot when they're 6. So I don't know if I'm talking at you too much, or if you're getting it."
I don't know either. I liked the spinning plates and the big gears.
So he just kind of sighs and he's like, "Yeah, I can see we have a long way to go." So we cut to a little later, years later, in fact. We have a little, I'll say we have a little montage of him being like, "First rule of magic," and you're like, "Ponies," and he's like, "No!" And we every day it's something different. A few years later, you come to dinner, and I'll say that you've come into your powers a little bit. Not too much yet, but enough that you can cast like first level spells. I'll say that how old are you right now, Belle? How old's your character?
I don't know if did I decide specifically?
23. There we go. Sorry, I just looked at your character sheet. All right,
I
so
couldn't remember.
I'm gonna
I
say,
knew it was like 20-ish.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're like 13, 14, and your father. You sit down at the table. It's just you and your father and your brother, and your father says, "Actually, no, you're not 14. You're not 13. I'm gonna say that you are." 8? 9? Just gonna double check something. Yeah, you're 8 or 9. And your father, he says, "Oh, Belle, how are your lessons going?"
They're going so well, Daddy. Thank you for asking.
Wonderful.
I love
Wonderful.
magic.
I bet you do, my little hand. And he says, yeah, you are truly the crystal in my timepiece, the sand that runs through my hourglass. And he says, there are things, my darling, things that you must learn eventually. How to be a leader. How to rule. I understand that you are just a child right now. You are young. Are you prepared for this mantle, my darling?
Yeah. Definitely, yes.
Of course you are. And so your brother speaks up. He's your older brother, and he says, "You know, Dad, I thought, you know, maybe I would be the inheritor of the household." And your father gives him this glare that seems to only be reserved for him, and he's silent immediately. And your father looks back at you, Belle, and he says, "I always know that you will not disappoint me. You will do as you are instructed, as you always have. Because you are my little glass face upon my watch. You are the perfect order, the perfect daughter. You will not fail me." We cut to later that night, where you are up late. I'm going to say that this little speech kind of inspired you to practice your magic. And what spell are you practicing, Belle?
Maybe...
First level only.
What?
First level or lower.
Ooh, what about the alarm spell? I like that one.
Okay, perfect.
Practice, that feels like reasonable to practice.
Yeah. So you're practicing alarm, and you're setting up like the wards for it, and you hear a commotion. Not a commotion. You hear voices down the hallway. Your father, you creep down the hallway, and you see that your father is talking to someone. Actually, I'm going to change the music. Your father's talking to someone. A tall man with a hat, a long coat, and the man is gesturing and saying something to your father. I'd like you to roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yikes.
Oh.
Okay, so that's a 0. Okay.
It's always perception for me. I just...
Yeah. It's
This
okay.
is the second time that this has happened, and I'm pretty sure both times... I fear both times were perception.
Yeah. So, that's okay. So, rolling low doesn't necessarily mean that you fail.
Yeah.
It just means that something
So
bad happens.
true.
So,
Well,
so you,
What an
so-
incredible perspective.
yeah.
So you hear a little bit of what they're talking about, where the man is saying, "Sir, you want this done now? Here?" And your father says, "We don't have much of a choice, you understand? Go down and do this, and be greatly rewarded. Or don't, and die where you stand. Do you get my meaning, son?" And the man, he stands at attention, and he's sweating, and he nods. He says, "Yes, sir." And he turns to go. You notice that he has a wand in a holster, and he's walking away. And at that point, your alarm spell triggers, and you hear this, "Blah, blah, blah," and your father stands up and runs to the hallway. I'm going to say that you back up just in time to just roll me
Dice are going so well for me tonight. Yes, please let me roll.
Would you like to roll a deception? Or what would you like to do, actually? I'll just ask. What would you like to do, Belle?
Well, deception. Let's see. Deception.
Because he's running towards the door where you are.
Let's see. My father is?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, does he hear my alarm?
Yeah,
Because I made it go out loud.
Yeah, and that's the 0. That's the consequence of the 0.
No, heard. Totally felt.
I'm going to say he flings the door open and he sees you. And he says, "Belle!"
Yes, I'd like to deception and... Although, actually... Well, no, it's still deception. Okay, basically, I'd like to deception and just heavy lean into, I'm just practicing magic, what's up?
Yeah, roll me a deception, please. He notices that you're sweating, and he sees that the door has been cracked, and he gets down on one knee and he takes your hands in his, and you notice that he's gripping you a little tighter than normal, and he says, "There are things that a leader has to do, my darling, my sweet Belle, that other people don't understand. But you understand."
Yeah. Of course.
Very good. Very good, my darling. Because one day, you're going to have to make some pretty tough choices. Choices that some people might not agree with. But you need to remember that it doesn't matter what they think. That you know what's best. And what's more, you have the power to know what's best.
Yeah. Just like you. We know what's best.
Very good, my darling. And we zoom out to the caves. To present day. Belle, you wake up.
I'd rather not.
Belle, you wake up from your slumber, and you also notice that you are covered in these spores, covered in this, and you've been bathed in this light. And you feel as though your presence has increased. That these... Something about your... The amount of space that you take up in a room, just by existing, has increased. What's more is you remember that night now. You kind of pushed it back for a very long time.
Can't imagine why.
And you remember that it wasn't... It was a little fear, of course, but that was the first time you ever felt real defiance towards your father. And all of his talk of order, all of his talk of balance, the law, that was the first time that you didn't really believe him. And you pushed it back for a long time because you've been working on your powers and on being the perfect new leader of House Crunlow. But sometimes a little chaos is good. And you look at the smoldering, not the smolders of the fire for the campsite. And you snap your fingers to light those flames, just as your teacher did. And you cast Prestidigitation.
Yes. I got it! Finally!
Yeah, and you say, finally! And everybody else wakes up at this point. Belle, you also recall the schematic that your teacher left for the Featherfall spell, and you figure this is probably a good time to actually learn this spell. And now that it's fresh in your mind, you get it. Belle, you are a level 4 sorcerer. Congratulations. You have elected to put a point in charisma and a point in wisdom, I want to say.
Yes.
Right? Great. So that means your wisdom is now 10.
Yeah.
So no more negatives.
Yeah!
No more zeros.
I can never roll a 0 ever again!
That's right.
That was my last 0. I guess good thing we got a 0 in today, huh?
Yeah, and your And your charisma is now 17, which is great. You have learned the Prestidigitation cantrip and the Featherfall spell. Very important spells. And you get some more hit points. Would you like to roll, or would you like to take the middle number?
I'm afraid of dice, but also everyone else rolled.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's roll.
Yeah,
Everyone else
let's do it.
rolled. Okay, just click.
You just
Don't-
click on hit dice.
Okay, yeah, this will be good.
Yeah,
Could be
4.
worse.
Okay.
Could be worse.
Could be
Actually,
worse.
yeah.
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 You're
Also,
now-
isn't that exact? That's what I would have gotten
Yeah,
anyways, right?
that's
So-
exactly it anyway. Yeah, so perfectly balanced. Very
Oh,
Crunlow.
on a you rolled a d6.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I'm
That's
only
great.
little.
That's it. Yeah, that's it anyway. Yeah, perfect. So you are now the proud owner of 21 hit points. Congratulations, Belle.
Yay!
Ah, amazing. Nice.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we earning any of them back after sleeping off?
Oh yeah,
Or are we
did
gonna
a
get
long
that?
rest.
Yeah, so you've also all gotten a long rest. You can recharge all of your hit points, all of your hit dice, your spells, everything that you had expended over the past, session or two. Get it all back. So you all wake up, you're covered in spores, and you're covered in dust.
I know
You're
something
bathed
that
in
can help
light.
with that.
Everyone wakes up. You notice that even the people that were supposed to be on watch were asleep.
What the? Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
That these spores have just covered everything. And everyone brushes them off. Aerolith is casting Prestidigitation on herself to kind of clean her clothing.
I want to do that too.
Are you wearing my cloak?
Yes, and I'm gonna clean it right now. Don't you worry.
Yeah, you do that. You absolutely do that.
So can I say something?
Please, yeah, please. RP amongst yourselves.
It's not that Hex is saying something. I guess once Hex, when you press the digitate clean of all of that, so the cloak which you think is black or like a dingy
God.
gray,
No.
you now
No.
see that it is actually a very dark violet
Oh no!
and has
I prestidigitated wrong.
and has a very like faint, like very faint white like unicorn in the middle of that, like giant, like it's a now very very deep purple and has like a very faint white unicorn in the middle of it. And Hex, upon seeing this, jolts over to you and like takes the cloak.
I'm gonna say, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I just learned how to do prestidigitation. This is the first time that I did it. I just did it right on the fire, and I was so sure I'd be able to prestidigitate the cloak clean, and I don't know what I did. I'm so sorry. I broke your cloak. It was supposed to be black. I'll fix it. I promise I'll fix it. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. And he'll take the cloak back and puts it around himself and like kind of walks away.
Incredible. What would the rest of you like to do? You noticed that everyone was covered in these spores, bathed in this light.
Well, I'm afraid to prestidigitate anybody.
I'm sorry, I had a call, so I couldn't actually hear what was going on. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
Oh, no,
You're totally
it's
good.
okay.
What I missed?
You missed my cloak being cleaned and revealing.
It's not black.
Wait, what happened to your cloak?
I prestidigitated wrong.
Not
cloak?
wrong. I mean, you did it right. You cleaned
Put it on the
it.
cloak.
It just hadn't been cleaned in who knows how long.
So you noticed, Mavis, as well as everybody else,
I prestidigitated two right. I meant.
when she cleaned the cloak, it isn't gray or black. It is a very dark violet with a faded white unicorn embroidered in the center.
Oh.
And as soon as that happened, as soon as Hex noticed that, he ran over, snatched the cloak, and put it back on.
I didn't put it back on. I
Oh, you
said,
didn't?
look, I
Okay.
walked away. I
Okay.
am now sharpening and oiling my blades as it
Okay.
with the cloak on my lap to try to. I'm beginning
Yeah,
the process of
dirty it up
dirtying
again,
it
yeah.
up again.
Nice,
So-
nice.
I like unicorns too, bro. I love a good
Um,
unicorn.
Hex, would you roll me an insight?
You bet.
Thank you.
I would love nothing more. 14.
Aerolith has clocked that, and she seems to her eyebrows raised when she looked at that sigil, and then she looked back up at you, and she said, "You get more and more interesting with every passing day."
Did I clock that she clocked it? So I'm guessing the insight is me clocking her clocking.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And if I roll,
clock
can
her
I
clock
clock that he clocks that she clocks that?
Yeah, Bella, if you want to roll me an insight, you can clock that he clocked, that she
kidding.
clocks.
No.
you-
I'm deeply regretting. No. I'm like thinking so hard about prestidigitation. I actually, I would like to practice prestidigitation on my, like, I don't know, do I have like a spare sock or so? I want to borrow like one of the pillows I was sleeping with and see if I can because you can prestidigitate something dirty.
Yeah, you can soil
So
something
I want
as
to
well, yeah.
I want to soil a pillow and then unsoil a pillow like a couple of times to make sure that I definitely have
pretty cool.
prestidigitation down.
Yeah,
Wait, so
you
you
do
can
that.
re-soil the
And
cloak?
then
Yeah,
after
you can resoil the cloak, yeah.
after I've adequately honed my prestidigitation skill, I would like to hurry back and say, I've figured it out. I can make your cloak dirty again so that
So-
it's back the way you like it.
So do I hear what Aerolith says to me? So as
Yeah.
I'm like sharpening and like doing all my stuff on
Yeah.
top of the cloak, trying to re-dirty it, I hear what she says. I get more interesting every day.
Yeah.
And I'll just stop. I'll stop doing my cleaning and sharpening of the weapon and just kind of look at her. And, I don't think I'm going to say anything. I'm just going to look at her.
Just give her that
And I
classic
want
hex
to see.
stare.
Can I do an extra? I want to see if I get the sense that she knows what this is. or if she knows
Okay.
how to what do I have to roll something? But that's like I don't want to say anything to her. I just want to like see what I can glean from her because I
Yeah.
don't want to speak.
I'll include that in your 14 insight. You see a look of recognition on her face. Like she looked at that cloak. She was like, she had a look of recognition, and then she looked up at you, and she said, "You get more and more interesting every day."
I'll just stop and stare at her, and then Belle comes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like, Belt comes into view from the side. It's
Yeah.
like, I figured it out. I'm so sorry. I can dirty your cloak again. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, wait, you can what now?
I can make it dirty again. Do you want it back how it was? I'll put it right back how it was.
Yes, please.
Okay, prestidigitation.
It's dirty. Great. So
exactly how it was, like just
Exactly
like
how it was,
okay,
yeah.
and then so as it is how it was, I put it back over Belle.
nice.
I love
Oh.
it.
You can add one to the group inspiration.
Nice.
We are at 3. Do we get 4?
Yeah.
What's the max? Is
Four
four
is
max?
This is
the-
4. Yeah.
We have 4.
We're at
Nice.
We're at max.
Great. Good job. So you all wake up and you feel changed. You all feel as though, and Celia, you notice, has no spores on her.
Now hang on a minute.
Everyone else does. And Celia seems to just be, like, leaning towards the light of the nearest phosphorescent mushroom. But she comes to.
Does she seem well rested?
She does, yeah. She seems well rested,
Okay.
yeah. She's well rested and well fed. And
Ah.
so, Aerolith, she says, "So, what is the plan? Are we to go north and explore?"
I thought so.
I think we
Yeah.
should explore. Yes.
Oh, I had a question, actually.
Yeah.
Can I pull Leah to the side?
Absolutely, yeah.
Alright. Hey, you were talking yesterday about the ley lines. Did you see exactly where the black part of it was coming from?
Coming from? I mean, it's not really clear where it's coming from. I just see where it is.
Do you want to see if there's some like black like I don't know what to call it, not lights, but like glowiness coming from like one of the options that we have?
Oh, I could do that. I feel like that's a good idea. That'd be a
Mhm.
great idea, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I can kind of see them too, but I don't think I'm like as strong at looking at them as you are.
What do you mean, kind of see them too?
It's one of the things that my friend showed me how to do. I didn't really know what it was for sure, other than it's some type of energy connection to the earth. But anyways, I thought it would just be a good idea for you to check since we're looking for things relating to your apple.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And I acknowledge what Mavis says. And I kind of just want to keep it to myself right now without exploring that even more. Because, one, she's overwhelmed. Leah is totally overwhelmed by all this new information. Like, what do you mean
Yeah.
other people can see ley lines? What do you mean you can see the ley lines? Okay, anyways. And two, now, yeah, it's a little,
Incredible.
change from that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Leah, I'd love you to roll me a survival check with advantage.
Okay.
Believe in you.
So I want to clarify what the survival skill is. It's not you're about to die and you have to survive.
Oh, huge. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what happened?
No, the survival skill is like tracking things, like gathering food.
Okay.
It's like your Boy Scout skill. That's survival.
Okay.
Oh fuck! All right, great. So that's a nat 20. Great. Awesome.
Let's go.
I'm
So,
so good
Leah,
at survival.
You can never be killed now. That's what that
Yeah,
means.
That's what,
exactly.
that's what it
I'm
means. Yeah.
forever.
So, Leah, using your nat 20 survival skill check, you open your green sight, and you understand that intrinsically that you can't pinpoint necessarily anything with this as far as where the corruption is, but you are really fucking good at tracking, and really good at knowing where you are, and you have a feel for air quality and temperature and little things that you can feel on your skin that not everybody can. And there are 3 tunnels in front of you. You go down each one 10 feet, 15 feet.
Okay.
You stand for a second, breathing in, calming yourself, finding your center, and you open your eyes. You see the green energy beneath you slowly being corrupted as you had before. You go down the next tunnel and the next tunnel. You, using your sense of smell, your sense of touch, your sense of hearing, you know exactly which tunnel you all need to go to that will lead you out of these these caves.
Let's go.
There's a faint scent of something burning through one of these tunnels. It smells like grilling meat, almost. Someone's cooking. Way the fuck down these tunnels. And you... what would you like to do, Leah?
Which number tunnel is that?
I'm gonna say tunnel number 3.
Okay.
It's one of the 4 that Hex had pointed out, and you find that tunnel number 3 is the winner.
Okay, I'll go back to the group. I want to tell them, hey, everyone, I checked all of the tunnels with my site that I used yesterday and all of my other survival instincts that I have gained throughout the years. I feel like I'm saying like I'm at a job interview. Anyways, yeah.
That's my best friend.
I think we should go down tunnel number 3.
I'll
seems
follow
the
you down
safest.
any tunnel.
Oh,
Especially if you say it's the right one of the 3. That's
yeah. And it smells like someone's grilling meat at the end of tunnel 3. I don't know what's going
Then
on.
I'm
there,
down
but-
to go to.
Yeah, I was like, I knew y'all would be good with that.
Incredible.
We love food here.
So, Belle, you have dancing lights active. Aerolith has dancing lights active. Everyone can see. Everything is... You walk down these tunnels where the mushrooms are least prevalent. And you continue down. It takes a long time. Hours and hours and hours of walking. And none of you can smell what Leah is smelling. None of you can feel the slight temperature differences on the air. But Leah is an experienced ranger. You're a 4th level ranger. So you understand what it is to, to track. And eventually... you get to... the passage begins to narrow, where you have to go single file. And then you hit a wall. Leah, there are tiny, tiny cracks in the wall where you put your face up to it, you can feel a slight wind, and that's carrying this scent. Somewhere beyond this wall is the way out. What would you like to do?
Well,
What?
can I see if the wall is like breakable, or like if we can climb over it, or
Sure,
like if
sure.
we can do any of that type of thing?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it's floor to ceiling. Like it seems like the tunnel ends at
Okay.
this
Okay.
wall, and there are slight cracks in it. You can roll me a. You could roll me an investigate. Do you want to tell your friends first, or like what would you like to do?
I want to
first?
gather all the information before I say anything.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You could roll me a nature. That could work.
Nature.
Yeah. Rough.
Damn.
So yeah, you.
Nature,
As
I
far
literally
as-
have +3 on it too. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
It's the duality of a nat 20.
I
followed by a
know,
nat
literally, and a 1.
1. Truly perfectly balanced. So you,
Yeah. Humbled
so you,
me.
humble. Yeah, you look at this wall. You turn around, and you all see Leah just kind of shrug.
Okay, I shrug and I'm like, I don't know how to get past this wall, but I promise you, I can smell. There's like, you said there's a crack. No, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there are several tiny cracks in the wall.
I can smell and I can tell that there's something on the other side of this wall, but there's tiny cracks in here, and I don't know. Well, if we can put our heads together and think about what we can do here, that'd be great.
Can I do perception or survival or just kind of?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you can do is, what exactly are you looking for?
I want to, because I knew that I had the gut feeling before that north is the way that we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
My thinking is, if there is something on the other side of this wall, I trust what Leah is saying, and part of me is just like, is this like a part of the city? Like, are we close to another part of the city? And if we are in the city, like, am I close enough? I don't know. Like, are we? It, like, my thinking is like, if after that like night and looking back, like, am I close enough that Kale could message me? Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, where are we? Like, are we that?
Smart. Yeah. Yeah. You could roll me. I would say that is a fine survival check to make.
Okay.
Also, I looked at your what skills are you proficient in, Hex?
Proficient.
Yeah.
In.
You get to pick 2.
Like from strength, dexterity, constitution, or
no. From like
the other
survival,
one.
acrobatics, athletics.
Oh yeah, I haven't clicked any of those, huh?
Yeah, I just realized. I just looked at your character sheet. I was like, what the fuck?
How many do I get?
It's in chat.
That is a fucked up
You
character
choose 2
sheet.
from acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, survival. So you just pick 2 of those to check, and then you'll have it.
Awesome. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I think it's funny you've been playing with one hand tied behind your back. Like, that's pretty cool.
Hey.
Don't worry, I also didn't know about an ability that I had that could have been helpful in so many things. But it's fine.
Okay.
Let's see. I think I'll do. Even though I'm doing a survival check now, I'm gonna do perception and history.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Okay, survival. 18.
Hell yeah, yeah. You get the feeling that, like, you're probably around where a lot of adventurers go to get to these tunnels. Like, this is probably one of the landings that dungeon delvers use. And the smell of cooking meat means that, like, all but confirms it, that there are people here. Civilization is very close.
Okay.
We've been traveling for a long time.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I send my... actually, I don't know. Maybe I can answer this. I want... Okay, yeah, I have to be able to see in order to manifest my echo, so...
Yeah.
But can my echo move through walls? That it doesn't say.
I don't think so. I think your echo is a physical force.
You know, that's fine. Okay. Can I then... I'm gonna whistle over to... I'm gonna call over to... who thinks... I'm thinking, like, who among us could have... I'm gonna... Sir Pillingham. Quick.
Leah, what...
I have
sorry.
something
Yeah.
I think I can use. Would the grappling arrow work here?
Oh.
So...
Or is that only enemies?
You mean, like... No, so it can latch onto objects as well.
Can it latch on objects? And can I, like, put it all the way up and then, like...
Try and pull?
Climb the rope? Yeah.
I'll say that there's no, like, it's basically, like, tunnel, and then the wall reaches, like, goes past the ceiling. Like, there's no like, space above it. It's basically just, like... Yeah, there's just wall... Actually, I'm gonna draw it.
I might have something.
I was gonna ask if Pickles had a hammer. Or if anybody has a hammer.
No.
Okay.
I have
nothing.
a hand axe.
I have a light hammer. I don't think that's gonna be helpful.
I got an axe.
I
That
got
wasn't
a
start-
message.
To whom?
You said, aren't there adventurers just above us? Oh,
So
but I
you
have
need
to
be
be
able to
familiar
see
with.
who you... Yeah. Also, the
No,
drawing
I
that I
don't have
have
to be
is
able to
just a
see.
circle, and it's not helpful,
Right.
so I'm just gonna delete it.
It's a circle.
Yeah, yeah, fine. We'll keep the circle. So, Quick Pickles does have like.
Do you think it's
They're
more than a
delvers,
foot
right?
of
Let's get
stone
to
above
delving.
us? More than 1 foot of stone? Surely just 1 foot of stone or less, right, Tyler?
You're not
Right.
sure. You can. There's one way to find out. Do you want to? So, what are you trying to do, Bella? Are
Okay.
you just trying to message? Oh, because message doesn't have to be seen, right?
Message can go through walls, or can go through some things, but if you're familiar, but I have to be familiar with the target. So if Hex, I would love to make the argument if there's someone that Hex wants to communicate with, that I've met at least once, I become familiar with people like so fast. And between Hex's familiarity with someone and my cast message, I really feel like there's an opportunity here.
So I will say that the range of message is 120 feet.
Yeah, and surely we're under 120 feet away, right?
From
if we could
people,
smell the
I mean,
meat.
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible, but like you're not familiar with like Joe Schmo on the other side cooking up on kegs, you know?
Maybe I am.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you might be. I will say, okay, you know what? So first of all, okay. You call back to Sir Pellingham,
Yeah,
Yes.
this is a better
And-
idea.
and you say, do you have, like a hammer or anything?
Yeah.
And he says, I have so many weapons in my bag, and he starts like pulling out like this Mary Poppins worth of like weaponry.
Right.
And he's like searching in the back, and he like, oh, it's here somewhere. And so he like pulls out a warhammer,
Oh, great.
and he says, yeah, well, I could probably break down this wall, but
There's a way
I
to do
mean,
that.
I'd appreciate all the help I can get.
Yeah, I'll definitely help him bust down the wall. I will ask him beforehand. Is there any possibility that breaking down this wall attracts Unkegs?
He says, I don't. So he looks at Leah, and he says, I mean, you're the tracker. What do you think?
Honestly, no, because we're far away from the nest, and 2, we're right near town. They don't usually come to town, so I think
Makes
we'll be
sense.
okay. If anything, we might just be breaking down someone's wall when we do this. So
Agreed.
be careful on the other side. We
I take a big old
see.
swing.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna do a skill challenge. All 4 of you, are going to tell me how you assist in helping to break this wall down.
Brute strength, baby.
Brute strength. All right, let's do it. Attack roll, please.
Oh, you want an attack roll or a strength roll?
Yeah. No,
Okay,
attack
good.
roll.
Don't use that. Don't
Don't
use that.
even look at that.
I
Do you
won't.
want my long sword?
However you want to do it, or you can make an athletics.
Athletics works.
Okay, great.
22.
Holy shit, 22. Yeah.
Way better
So
than my strength save.
awesome. All right. So I'm factoring that into the end result. We're gonna go to bless you, Sage. We're gonna go to Belle next. How would you like to assist in breaking this wall down?
Yeah, okay. Here's my pitch. Ready?
Yeah, please. I'm ready.
I've read a book or two in my life, and one thing that
Oh,
I've
yeah.
read about is how temperature impacts the durability of different stuff
Okay.
and things. And
Okay.
I know that when cold equal weak. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, having said that, I would like to cast Ray of Frost
Cool.
at the wall.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
that's what
I
a
want
leader
you.
would do, right?
That's awesome. So okay. So casting Ray of Frost will totally. That's going to give you advantage. On I want you to roll me Arcana,
Cool.
and you'll get advantage on that. Fuck yeah, 22, amazing. So you know where exactly to cast Ray of Frost at the exact weak points. You know where your magic is strongest, and so great. Mavis, how would you like to do this?
I have no idea. I'm trying to figure it out.
Amazing,
Genuinely.
amazing. No worries, no worries. We can come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Leah, how would you like to do this? How would you like to assist?
Hand axe time.
Oh, hell yeah.
I
Amazing.
think.
That's awesome.
Start. Yeah, just start
Oh
hacking.
my god, amazing.
it.
Perfect. Perfect.
Let's
Perfect.
go.
Perfect. Perfect.
I don't even think twice. Like I literally just like pull it out and just start going at it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Mavis, what would you like to do?
Light hammer. That's all I
Lighthammer?
got. Yeah.
Amazing. Let's do it. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
So, so in order, so we see Hex. You take your shoulder and you go as hard as you can at this wall, and you continue to shoulder it. At the same time, we see Belle. You Ray of Frost key points all the cracks in the wall. At that point, we see Leah double hand axe come in at those weak points. The wall is so brittle now. We then see Mavis take the light hammer and just tink and take one last crack, and a web of cracks spread across this wall and crumble.
Yeah.
Mavis, you did it.
Y'all seem so well coordinated, and I'm just tossing my body.
I was gonna say you should start tomorrow.
It's getting the job done, though. That's all.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Love teamwork.
Yeah. And so the four of you, plus Bill, plus the Delvers, stumble out of this tunnel.
Oh yeah.
And you're on a landing, and everybody looks around. There are some people around. Aerolith pulls her map up, and this is right at the start.
Oh yeah, this bitch had a map.
But she didn't know where we were once we got to the mushroom land.
Yeah, she
got a little lost.
then makes the connection, and you see a line begin to form, and she looks at all of you and she says, "We now have a direct line. This wall,
Right.
it was impossible to cross. No one could have even known that it led anywhere. It was just a natural cave. We might be able to actually do this."
Oh, yeah.
She looks at the randos that were in the room, and she says, "All of you lot, get the fuck out of here." And the
God.
tourists kind of like, "Urgh!" And like these guys like scramble up the ladder and crawl up. Would you all like to get out of the tunnels?
Yeah.
I really love some fresh air, if I'm being totally honest.
So she said it was a natural occurring cave. Is that true? Was this a natural, was this wall? I find it very interesting that there's a tunnel that leads to almost the outside, and then there's a wall there.
It is very interesting, Hex. That is a very good point. Yeah.
Hex would like to just look back after she says that, because I don't trust this woman. I don't trust this elf lady and her stares and her genocidal monologues. So I'd like to look back at
Her very intense
Fair.
eyebrows.
I'd like to look back at from whence we came and just see if I agree that this was a natural forming wall. Because if it is a direct line to the nest, it's very possible that somebody in the past made this wall so that they wouldn't fuck with the... You know what I mean?
That is a very, very good thing to intuit, Hex. I'd love for you to roll me... what skill would you like to roll to determine this? Because I'm thinking nature, as far as the natural formation of caves and shit.
I'm okay to roll nature. Could I convince
convince
you?
me.
Could I
Yeah,
convince you with history?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Fuck.
Wait, we should use inspiration. We should use
Oh,
inspiration.
yeah, I'll
use
use
inspiration.
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're at max
we're at
anyways.
max. We're at max. Okay,
Okay,
we
back
want to
down
stay
to
under
3.
max. Okay. Again with the history? 16, that's better.
16, that's plus
Nice.
10, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you look at this and you're like, caves don't do this. This isn't right. It does look like this wall was put up.
Oh.
You don't know how it could have been put up, but I'm probably magic. But this is not normal. That cave should have gone right from what you're looking at, like where the the like God, I'm not a cave doctor. I don't know what this means, but like the
We'll just insert cave facts in post.
cave
facts.
Okay.
Cave facts here.
I'm gonna do some research, and I'm gonna do a little I'm gonna record a little video. Insert this here. So what Hex had seen are layers of sediment, not to be confused with flowstone. The layers of sediment, different colors, different colorations, were seen in thin layers on the wall that they had been traveling down for a while. As opposed to the layers of sediment that were on the wall that they had come up to with the cracks in it, these layers of sediment were a bit wider, which didn't quite match up with the layers that had been seen as they were traveling down the tunnel.
Okay, everyone look really intrigued.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
that's neat.
I didn't
And
know
that's
that
what I meant when I
cave.
said the cave stuff. Yeah, and that's exactly
Oh my God.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so true.
So, and that's
I
how
love
you know
caves.
that this wasn't real. This is natural, not natural. Yeah.
Okay.
So you do clock that. Yeah.
I don't show. Nobody can clock that I clocked that, but I do clock it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Regular cave to me.
Yeah, and you begin to climb out. Aerolith says to Turris, she says, "You need to guard this area to make sure that nobody else goes in through this tunnel." And Turris, he nods. Quick Pickles, he says, "Yeah, you know what? I've got nothing to do. I'll just hang back and do it anyway." So the two of them are staying back, and they're gonna guard the entrance.
Where are we in the city? Sorry.
That is a great question, Belle. I'm glad you asked, because
I'm
now
lost.
we will move to the city map.
Yeah, give me the map.
You are up in the top right-hand corner of the city,
The high.
in an area called the Hive.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right.
Does make sense.
Yeah. So the four of you, plus a few others, climb out. And you reach the surface.
Yeah, we went a long ass way from the.
We
corpse
really
town.
did.
Yes.
All the
You
way
went a long
underneath
ass
the whole entire city?
You went a long ass way. Where would you like to go?
I could really go for a hot meal and a bath. And we're not so far from my house.
Oh yeah.
Don't we have to go around though?
Yes,
So-
but we have to go through like the thoroughfare area, right?
So yeah, being in the hive area, you could go straight through the thoroughfare up and then past the gates of Cass Crunlow, and then straight to Crunlow Keep. It'll take a little bit, but you could go through the thoroughfare,
And we could stop to get a snack in the thoroughfare.
and you could stop to get a snack in the
I
thoroughfare.
love a snack. A snack and then a bath.
We'll do
That's
that.
a perfect afternoon. What time of the day is it?
It's about afternoon, I'd say.
Okay.
I knew it.
Yeah,
Because it's the perfect time for a snack.
We
yeah,
didn't
it
really
is. Yeah, and you intuited that.
find out
Yeah.
anything yet though. About
So where? So we all come up to the surface. I guess I'm interested in two things.
Yes.
I'm interested in knowing where and what Aerolith is going to do right now and where she's going. And then also, I want to meet back up, if I can, with Kale and Vu before
Mm-hmm.
whatever happens next.
Yes, yes. So, we can absolutely do that. Hex, you know that they're probably going to be in... I think they said that they would be in Swedgen. Or they... I mean, you could probably get a message to them.
Okay.
And... Mavis, are you going with Belle and... So, are you all going into the thoroughfare first? To kind of...
Well, I don't really want to split up, so I'm gonna pitch the idea of a walk through the thoroughfare to my house together. And but I really don't want to go unless everyone wants to go.
I'm good with that.
Great.
Yeah.
But I do think that it would be good to set a time and place of where to meet back up with Aerolith, because I think I'd rather be more involved in her plan than less.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
But I feel like if Hex really wants to meet up with with like Hex, if you really want to meet up with your BFFs, then maybe we could split up for the night as long as we keep in touch, and then you come back and meet up with us if you want.
I would like that. Yes. Don't
I
worry.
feel like
I'm
that's
not.
because we're not too far. We're still all in the same city, and
Yeah, I
we can
won't
get
be
to
gone
each other.
long.
Okay, great. So Hex, you split off from everyone.
But can we find
Yeah, I
out what
think I wanna
Aerolith's
go-
plan is first?
Yeah, I
before we split
want
up?
to ask Aerolith what she's planning on doing, and then I want to go find Kale and Vu. Because
Okay.
like, I'm invested, but I also like want to make sure that I relay what's happened to them and kind of yeah.
And I feel like if we can
Yeah.
make a plan for all of us of like where will Aerolith be like tomorrow morning, so that we can just
Right.
be there, kind of deal, is what I don't know if
Right,
that's what
right,
you're
right.
imagining, Hex.
Yes.
Yeah. So Aerolith, she says, we will be staying in the thoroughfare,
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
and we will be gaining supplies and bringing them back to the hive. And then at some point, I suppose Esong Day, you will take supplies down to Port Turris and Sir Pillingham to make sure that they don't starve, protecting our interests. And Esong Day nods, and she says, I would like to go to Crunlow Keep.
Sure. Yeah, we're going there too.
Very
Wait.
good.
Yeah, you're invited.
Excellent. So you, so you all begin to move towards the thoroughfare. Hex, you get a ping in your head from Kale,
Great.
and it's just basically, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck.
I'll say hello. Where are you?
Where am I? Where the fuck are you? It's been days!
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I'm fine. Where are you? I'll tell you when I see you.
We're in fucking Swedgen, alright? I'm using my very limited ability to cast the sending spell to fucking find you. Alright?
Oh, well,
Where the fuck are you?
Well, I'm in the thoroughfare. Or am I in the hive?
Hive,
You're
right?
approaching the thoroughfare. But yeah, you're right now you're just kind of like Aaron Sorkin walking talking to the
Yeah.
thoroughfare.
I'm on my way
But
to the
yeah.
thoroughfare.
Great. So he says, alright, fuck. Alright, we'll meet you fucking right there. Jeez, oh my god. Alright, let's go.
We're all
knew
gonna
I
meet
was-
up in the
He
thoroughfare and
knew
have
I
a
was
snack.
going. He knew I was going. He's
He's
going.
worried about you.
He's fine.
He's
So-
your best friend, and he's worried about
he's
you.
He's a person.
He loves you and you love him, and he's worried about you.
Yeah. So you all get to the thoroughfare. You go to the Soul Star to get some snacks and to get some supplies. We see our four heroes eating with their new friends, and Bill is just standing at attention. And we cut to Crunlow Keep, where we see Lord Crunlow, Waits Crunlow, is looking out over the city. We see him slowly look down at his wrist, where there is a little cufflink with the Crunlow sigil. We zoom out from there, panning downward, down to Swedgen, where we see the sheriff, the low sheriff, sitting at his desk, holding a pair of glasses that belonged to an afflicted that you all had known as Xavier.
Oh.
And then we zoom out from there, past the walls of Wu Crunlow, into Corpse Town. We zoom through alleys, through streets, through Afflicted, as we finally get to the Church of the Living. We zoom in past the tarp. In going to the right, no longer going into the tunnel, but through the door that leads into the church building, where we see there is a man sitting on a large throne, red eyes, looking furious. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Okay. My boy Xavier, what happened to him? Damn.
Yeah.
Xavier.
We left him.
We were
We
supposed
left
to
him.
give him
Leave
a
him.
big day out, and we
left him in
failed
the low.
him.
We had left him in the low. I forgot we left him in the low sheriff out back.
Yeah.
Low sheriff made it back, but Xavier didn't. Dang.
Great session, everyone. That is the finale of Arc 1 for Reincarnation.
What?
Is
Wait, Arc 1?
Yeah.
What?
We're now on to Arc 2.
Can't believe we
Very
forgot about Xavier.
Oh, I think I was muted.
didn't
I was
forget.
thinking about that when we got out of the hive because I was like, dang, we're gonna go all the way back to
Big city without
Unload,
yeah.
but we didn't even get to like message them or anything.
Make
but I was
our
gonna
way
wait till
all the
everything
way
played
back
out.
down.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, wait, what did we even go? Why did we even go there?
Why did we go in the hole?
Like, oh yeah, Corpse Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in. I was. That's why I was. When we got out in the open, I was like, "Wait, are we just gonna appear back in Corpse Town and be like, here we are?"
Yeah.
But-
Amazing.
No, we're
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Anyways,
Great job, everybody. We're gonna do bond changes now, and then we'll wrap it up.
yeah.
So we'll start. We'll do the same. We'll just start top down. Let's do Leah. Leah, any bond changes for you?
I think. Oh boy, it's hard to think about. Okay. Where do I start? I think with Aerolith, Leah is a little bit more, which I think this is gonna be different for everybody else, but I think she's a little bit more trustworthy of her.
Ooh.
Because of what she said about, like, because she owned up to what the second part of it was about.
Mhm.
I think she's still a little bit hesitant because she didn't like the fact that she was like, for like when she was talking about like what elves could be doing instead of like serving humans and everybody else, and I was like, okay, we don't need to be like that, but we can go back on our history and like, because you know Leah's curious about all that and wants to really know what's going on, because like her dad told her about where we came from, but not like the history of it all. So she's very interested in that. And I think she trusts her a little bit more because she was kind of just like giving her that
Yeah.
a little bit more. So that was good. Mavis, I think that was interesting, getting pulled aside, talking about the ley lines. I think that was a huge shock to her that like
Oh yeah.
about you can see the ley lines too. Like, why have we not talked about that? What was going on there? Not saying that Mavis is untrustworthy, but just like, why didn't you tell me before? Yeah, about that. Everybody else, like Hex and Belle, I feel like still the same. We're still moving and grooving, you know. And then with the group, I feel like no one really changed or anything. I think seeing Celia's like wrapping around the ley lines when she looked when we were talking in the group was just like a little reminder, like, yeah, Celia's here too. She's great. We love Celia. And then was there anyone else that I'm missing? I don't think so. Yeah.
Nice. Great.
That's it.
Great bond changes, Leah. Thank you. Next up, Mavis. Any bond changes for you?
I don't think so. I think everything still feels pretty like chill, very normal. I feel very weird about Aerolith a little bit because it's kind of like I was excited that it felt like she liked me at the end of the other like day. I was like, oh my gosh, wait, I think she's warming up to me. I feel better. And then I guess hearing everyone's concerns made me think about like the bigger picture of what she wants. And it's like it's kind of like going back and forth. It's because she wants to do stuff that will help with everyone in Swedgen, which is like very important. And going through that myself, it's like, okay, no, I know what that's like. So that would change and that would be so helpful. But it's like it kind of feels weird because it feels like it's like something is amiss. So I'm like kind of going back and forth. Everybody else is pretty much the same. Like all of like the OG crew, still really comfortable, still really good with that. And kind of just vibing and like just here, just present, a little hungry. That's it.
Yeah. Totally. Awesome. Yeah. Great. Nice. Thank you, Mavis.
Yeah.
Hex, any bond changes for you?
I don't think there were any major bond changes for Hex this session. I definitely think there's a growing distrust of Aerolith. That's just continuing to grow. Part of me is intrigued by her since she seems to know something about my what she saw in my cloak, and that happening, I'm not even mad. Like it's not even like a mad thing. I'm just like, it's like an I don't know. Hex feels very embarrassed, but also vulnerable when that happened, and also the fact that I never thought that was like a character secret of mine. That like I was like, surely this is never gonna come up.
That's so
and now it has, and I really enjoy it in like a really cool way. I don't think it changed any bonds.
Yeah,
but like it is a very important, like it's like a cool important thing that happened. So yeah, that was and I just reaffirmed in my like connection to Kale and Fu. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you, Hex. Last but not least, Belle. Any bond changes for you?
No, like, okay, minor, the smallest bond changes with the main group. One, I think even stronger bonds because Belle loves, like, cooperation, and our moment where we kind of like huddled and discussed our strategy and kind of came to a consensus made her like really feel even closer with the whole group. Also, she's worried that she has disappointed Hex with the prestidigitation flaw, but I think ultimately with how that ended feels like it's okay, but also like maybe I think in her mind she's like, I have to make up for that. So like not necessarily a bond change, but like a have I messed up kind of moment. And then I think so there's like a general theme of some stuff that happened today with Belle that I think influenced some bond changes, and that is that I think Belle, at least in recent years, has had like very little experience that she knows of people being like deceitful to her. Like she thinks that she is really never lied to. She hasn't noticed being lied to, and like she really values truth and honesty, and like has felt very strong and sure in this knowledge that like everyone around her has her best interest in mind and is honest and all that stuff. And then today there was like a series of things. One, she felt like Aerolith was being deceitful. Like there was a moment where Aerolith was trying to like explain her plans, and she said something about wanting like a part of feeding everyone was this like I don't remember the exact word she used, but like something of like recognition and like almost like recognition for doing that. Like it sounded like she was sort of would be happy to receive the recognition for having fed everyone. And again, I don't remember the exact words, but something like that. And that sort of caught on in Belle's brain of like, that's a weird reason to want to feed people. And so she's sort of feeling like there are some like other motives that are not super clear, and she doesn't like, Belle is uncomfortable by that. And like in my mind, I think that sort of like triggered that memory recall in my dream of my father. And I think that was also a big time where Belle felt lied to, and then also where she in turn felt like she had to lie, which also Belle does not like lying at all. And so it's like very rare that she lies and she does not. Yeah. Anyways, so like that like feeling like she was lied to and then having this memory resurface of feeling like she was lied to and feeling like she had to lie makes her sort of like recognize a bit of a rift with her father. And then also to amplify that, when everyone was talking about the reality of food in Affliction, which is just a scenario that she like has not known or noticed, and all of the information that she has is like everyone has food because of the Grove, like the Grove feeds everyone in Affliction, that's so great, and she hasn't seen a reason to question that, so she hasn't questioned that, and it's like another like, oh, I've been lied to. And so all of those things are sort of making her, and I think that's like part of why she's very eager to get back home and see her father, because she's like, oh, hang on a minute, like maybe this relationship is not as strong as I thought it was, and maybe I've even known this and ignored it. So that's a bit of actually quite a big bond change, I would say. Yeah.
Nice.
So just
awesome.
that.
Just that. Yeah, that's it. Awesome. All right. Well, great. Thank you, Belle. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. Great session today.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations on leveling up. And yeah, and we're gonna start Arc 2. Very excited.
Boy.
Very excited. It's gonna be great. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for enjoying this audio-only presentation of Reincarnation, a D&D campaign from Predicting Chaos. Once again, our cast members are Tyler Lee, Bella, Kate, Sage, and Sebastian. Our recording is done by Sailor Sunday, and our music is provided by Epidemic Sound and Alexander Nakarada. Check out the podcast description for additional links. Feel free to leave a review if you liked the show, and we hope you'll tune in to the next episode.